A special unit 2. Then, like father.
Cute.
Like son.
Talk about perfection.
An all-new Voyager. It all starts next Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on UPN.
For the first half of their season, the Chicago Enforcers seem to be the most ill-fated team in the XFL.
I don't like losing to nobody and nothing. It makes me sick to my stomach.
Feeling that fate had dealt them a bad hand, these proud competitors turned their luck around and are now the comeback story of the year. Having won 4 of their last 5 games, this determined group of warriors shows no sign of slowing down, thanks in part to rushing leader John Avery.
Don't talk to me, because I can back it up. From here on out, everybody in trouble.
The Enforcers now control their own destiny. A win tonight will guarantee a spot in the playoffs.
Springtime conditions in the beautiful city of Chicago, Illinois. Temperatures reaching into the 70s. A beautiful day to contemplate a big football game. We welcome you to Soldier Field for the final game of the XFL's regular season. Tonight, the Chicago Enforcers try to nail down the final playoff spot against the league's best team, the Orlando Rage. New York has beaten Birmingham to put the pressure on Chicago. Here's the situation. If Chicago wins, the Enforcers are in. They'll play at Los Angeles in round 1 of the playoffs. If Chicago loses, New York goes to the playoffs. They'll travel to LA. In the other game, San Francisco travels to Orlando. Just moments ago in the Chicago locker room, Ron Meyer addressing his team.
You're the best team in the XFL, guys. You know that.
Hey, fellas, check this out. No doubt. Hey, whatever I do for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I was blessed enough to get that bread when I went first round, but guess what? This for y'all. You know what I'm saying? If I hurt myself, I hurt myself for y'all. You know what I mean? Because I know y'all do the same thing for me. Right. So either we do it now or we don't do it at all. All right, everybody touch somebody. Come on, everybody touch somebody. Touch somebody now. Touch somebody. Come on.
We're set for the scramble for the ball. Scott Kloman for Orlando, 5-3 against Chicago's Tony McCall, 1-2 for possession of the ball.
All right, guys. All right, fellas. After I blow the whistle, no holding, no block and blow the waist. I'm going to tell you to take your marks. When you're set, I'll blow the whistle. All right? Take your mark.
There they go. Tony McCall. He has it for the Enforcers. A vote of confidence for the Chicago Enforcers. Hi, everybody, along with Brian Bosworth, I'm Chris Marlowe. Well, if you're a Chicago Enforcer, it's just the way you want it. You control your own destiny. Chicago wins, they're in. If Chicago loses, however, because of tie-breaking procedures, the New York, New Jersey Hitmen are in. Okay, Boz, the big story in Chicago this week, the health of John Avery 2 weeks ago, injured his hamstring. How is he? Can he play?
Well, Chris, John didn't practice at all this week. He's gotten a lot of treatment. He's been stretched. He's been rubbed. I spoke with him about 20 minutes ago in the locker room. He doesn't know how effective he'll be. He says he's going to go. He's going to try to do as much as he can. But you know what? If he goes, or he doesn't go, it's not the John Avery show here in Chicago. It takes more than just one player. It's going to take all 38 players to play flawless football to beat the best team in the XFL and lock down that last playoff spot.
The Orlando Rage heading towards an undefeated season before their star quarterback, Jeff Brom got hurt. The last 3 weeks, they've been adjusting to the new quarterback, Brian Kuklik. This is a guy who's very talented, but sometimes erratic.
Actually, some say more talented than Jeff Brom. He's bigger, he's stronger, he sees the field better, he can throw the ball deeper. His only problem has been his decision-making. He's had 9 interceptions over the last 3 games. So the big question today is, can he make the big plays without the big mistakes?
John Avery, there was talk that if New York had lost today that you would get some rest, but the table is now set. The Hitmen are now in. Your team needs you big today. How effective can you be?
I don't know. I mean, God willing, I'll be able to do what I've been doing all season long. If not, you know, we got LaShawn Johnson. He can step up and make plays. But I'm going to give it all I got. This is it.
Brian Kuklik, you've clinched home field throughout the playoffs. How are you going to play with abandon today against a team that has everything to play for?
We need some positive momentum going into the playoffs, and we came out here to win. That's why we came to Chicago.
Galen Hall, the head coach for Orlando. He has 2 wins from 100 in his coaching career. Last 6 years coaching in NFL Europe. And Ron Meyer in the NFL. He was the 2-time AFC Coach of the Year. 1 year as an agent. He tried to recruit the Boz, but he said the Boz was too expensive. He couldn't afford him. Weather is gorgeous. The best Chicago weather we've had since we've been here. Temperature dipping into the 50s. Humidity not a factor, and the forecast is clear. So set, ready to go. Andy Crossland will kick off for Chicago, and Brian Shea is deep to return. Shea sat out last week with a knee injury. Very explosive, averaging over 25 yards per return. We'll see if his knee can hold up. We're underway. UPN primetime football. And Shea fields it at his 1. Out he comes. Runs into his own man, and down he goes. So Brian Kuklik, 6'3", 29 years old, out of Wake Forest. As Brian Bosworth detailed, he's thrown 9 interceptions, 3 in the last 3 games. But at Wake Forest, he put up big numbers, over 8,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, got a big arm. Once again, as Boz told you, sometimes he makes some questionable decisions. So that's the big story for Kuklik tonight. Can the Orlando Rage play error-free football? Derek Clark opens as the running back. 1st and 10. Hand the ball to Derek Clark, swinging to the outside. And Clark powers his way near the 1st down line. Kerry Cooks making the tackle. So Kuklik, you know, his last game against Birmingham, props his best, Boz. He threw 3 touchdowns, but the interceptions really come out and grab you.
Absolutely. And the one thing that's probably good out of the 2 games that he had to come back from was that they know they can come back if they get down. The question is, can they stay and be dominant for the entire game without throwing those costly interceptions?
8 yards on the play for Orlando. 2nd and short. Give to Derek Clark. Orlando's going to be very close to the 1st down. They should have it with that run. Derek Clark, 29 years old. He started his collegiate career at Florida State.
Way to work, fellas.
And it is a 1st down. So Derek Clark is the featured back, number 43. We're going to also see a lot of Mike Black, number 21.
Yeah, you're probably not going to see a whole lot of Brian Shea. They may try to hold him for the playoffs. He's an explosive part of that 3 tandem in the backfield. But I tell you, Derek Clark is one explosive runner himself.
The initial 1st down of the ball game to Orlando, and the first pass for Brian Kuklik on a short roll, and he throws to the normally reliable Diallo Burks, the Rage's leading receiver, in and out of his hands. So an incomplete pass.
Simple rollout. Brian gets outside containment, puts the ball on the money, and Diallo, little lapse of reason there, doesn't come down with the ball. He's usually very sure-handed. Looks like he was trying to run a little bit before he got the catch.
Now, if you're wondering about the Chicago Enforcer defense, it's the 2nd worst scoring defense, the XFL's worst total defense, and the worst passing defense. So Orlando should be able to make some yardage. Derek Clark stretching for about 3. However, the one good thing about the Enforcer defense, they come up with big plays. They lead the league in interceptions.
Absolutely, and Coach Ron Myers credits that secondary for the 2nd half being on fire.
And we've got a clip.
Back 81.
Spotted
The crack back.
Spotted
foul. Where were you?
Here,
Where
right
were
here.
you? Right here?
Right here. Yes, sir.
And
15 from here, second down.
Called it on Diallo Burks.
What's your formation? Personnel. Deuce. You got it already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Galen Hall, 18 years as an offensive coordinator at the University of Oklahoma, 6 years as the head man of Florida. And so they mark it off against Orlando.
Smolies. How much was it? How much a penalty?
Wymack on one.
That's a big penalty. It's going to be.
That's something that doesn't get called a lot. Blocking below the knees.
No. Wymack.
Almost a crackback block there by the wide receiver.
Liz.
So a 2nd and 23. Mike Black checks into the backfield. Kuklik, short drop. He's got some time, and now he runs out of time as the enforcers are in very quickly. Aaron Humphrey made the early hit, a 23-year-old out of Texas. A loss of 7.
And you're going to see Aaron Humphrey play all over the place on that Chicago enforcer defense. He'll line up at linebacker. He'll line up at defensive end. He's played big all year long. Hubert Thompson in there as well, and that's one of the things that they're really going to have to be cognizant of, is trying to get pressure on Brian Kuklik and force him to make some bad throws.
Aaron Humphrey having a great year, and now the crowd comes alive. Opening series, it's a 3rd and 28 for Orlando. 3 wide receivers for the Rage. And we got a marker down. And the clock has expired. It's going to be delay of game.
Number 14.
And you can see a lot of the mistakes already happening for Orlando. This is not what Galen Hall wants. They want to go into that playoff with the kind of momentum they had the first 6 weeks of the season. And over the last 3 weeks, they've kind of lost that momentum.
60 smash.
And you have to wonder what kind of motivation Orlando has in this game. They've clinched the division. They're already going to be the number 1 seed in the East. Have they come out a little bit flat? So a 3rd and 33 for the Rage. Mario Bailey in deep motion. Kuklik fires short. Football! Pass was complete. It's kicked. And the Rage in on it. So the enforcer, Chicago has it.
The first big break goes to Chicago. And Coach Ron Meyer told us this week that they've got to focus on trying to get turnovers early on in the game.
Pass was complete to Skinny Culver. And Ray Austin knocked it loose.
Good underneath coverage. Just got to come up and make a play. And that's exactly what Ray Austin did.
Ray Austin gets it.
Quincy Coleman with a big hit.
The righteous take the kingdom by force, baby.
So Chicago starts with LaShawn Johnson. So LaShawn Johnson starts as the running back. John Avery on the bench.
We ain't doing none of that today.
Ray, how huge a play. You guys need to score early. You need to get some turnovers. That was gigantic.
That ain't nothing but defense. The righteous take the kingdom by force. The righteous take the kingdom by force.
The Sons of Thunder.
Pause. What does that mean? The righteous takes the kingdom by force.
That's biblical, Bubba.
Okay, what does it mean? I'm going to kick some booty tonight?
That means if you're righteous, you deserve the kingdom, and you take it by force.
Kevin McDougal out of Notre Dame.
Go!
He's 4-1 as a starting quarterback, over 59%. Last week he threw 3 touchdown passes. It's 2nd and goal. LaShawn Johnson hits the hole, driving inside the 5, maybe to the 3. Tackled by Bill Duff.
And I think this is smart by Coach Ron Meyer by starting LaShawn Johnson this first series. Don't put John Avery in a position where he can get hurt early. They got the ball down deep in Orlando's territory. Go ahead and put LaShawn Johnson in there and let him bang it in there.
Johnson over 100 yards last week. And there is number 20, John Avery, the XFL's leading rusher. Nearly 800 yards, so they're going to hold Avery out at the moment. You can see he's dying to get in there, but his man, LaShawn Johnson, doing okay. It's 3rd and goal from the 2. McDougal on the roll, throws, and it's incomplete.
Boy, they came in awfully early on that one. It should have been a defensive pass interference.
Looking for his tight end, Ty J. Armstrong, out of Mississippi. And a 4th down coming up. So bring on the kicking unit.
What did he say about it was 6-19 minutes gone? Did he say? I don't know. Ask him. Get on the phone right there and ask him.
Andy Crossland, who's had 2 of his last 4 blocked. 2 out of his last 4 blocked. Not all his fault. Breakdown in pass protection. This is a shorty, a 19-yard attempt. Snap is a bit high, and Crossland boots it through.
So Chicago strikes first blood on a big turnover.
9:25 to play first quarter. 3-0 Chicago. You're watching the XFL on UPN.
You're watching the XFL on UPN.
I'm Koran Mahalik. Tonight on UPN 9 News, the story of a Brooklyn man being detained in South Korea. He could face life in prison there, but here what he's accused of doing tonight. A rally to call for the end to racial profiling by Black and Latino officers will take you there. A very creative way for you to stop smoking. Could it be as simple as acupuncture? See how it works tonight. And your back-to-work forecast. Join us tonight after the game.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Want to find out what's so funny?
Yes!
Tune into UPN 9 weeknights at 6 to check out the wacky world of Moesha.
Check me out.
Next, find out what those crazy twins are up to on Sister Sister.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
At 7, for more laughs, catch the hilarious Jamie Foxx Show.
Anything else would be uncivilized.
Then, look out for the
Deputy Mayor in Heat.
Have fun with Michael J. Fox on Spin City.
Now who's with me?
Get in on the laughs. Weeknights starting at 6, only on UPN 9.
I say, Leonardo, how's that painting coming?
It's a masterpiece, way ahead of its time.
We asked for something that would uplift the human spirit. What on earth is that?
Exactly, this is it. I am a genius. It's a drink called Red Bull.
Red Bull? You call that a work of art? You must be mad.
You will see. Someday everybody will be singing Red Bull gives you it.
That's it. I'm giving the chapel dog to Michelangelo.
Going back and look at that third down play again, I tell you, Orlando gets away with one right here because number 41, Corey Gilliard, comes in a little early. That would have been first down and goal from the 1-yard line.
First game of the year. Orlando, Chicago was a shootout. Orlando winning. McDougal didn't play in that game. So kind of a completely different cast. Jeff Brom had a big game. So did Diallo Burks. John Avery running wild. But now it's up to Brian Kuklik. So 3-0. Chicago leads, although Chicago has to be a little bit disappointed. They could not punch it in with a first and goal. Chicago to kick off deep is Brian Shea. High and short. Shea at the 8. Oh, is he drilled at about the 23. That will be a candidate for the Lugs hit of the week.
Big time. Heel straight up in the air. Carlos Timmons. Sir, yes, sir. Coming right at you, Brian Shea. Ouch.
Timmons out of Eastern Kentucky. He must have thought Shea was from Western Kentucky.
That's why they call them special teams. The special players only want to play special teams, and kickoff coverage happens to be the biggest collision-like special teams on the field.
Opening drive for Orlando was complete disaster. Drop passes, penalties, and a turnover. So Orlando's second possession at their 29. Derek Clark looking for room, cuts it back. Clark, a very effective runner. You don't consider him a breakaway specialist, but if you need 4, 5, 6 yards, he's a good bet.
Absolutely. He's a big pounder inside. You know, ironically, they've had so much success in their running game, but not one of their 3 backs, Derek Clark, Michael Black, or Brian Shea, has broken the 100-yard mark barrier. As a matter of fact, I think the longest run has been by a quarterback, and that was Jeff Brom.
New York has already won. The Hitmen putting a beating on the Birmingham Bolts earlier today on TNN. We'll show you highlights of that at halftime. Chicago in a must-win situation. Kuklik rushed, and he loses the football. And Chicago may be on it again. Let's see. Was Kuklik down?
It didn't look like he was down. They might call him down.
Don Sasa involved in the play. The big fella out of Washington State.
Brian Kuklik hangs on to the ball a little bit too long. He's got to get rid of the ball. He has to be able to feel that pressure. That's a scramble for the ball. I tell you what, I think that ball comes out before Brian Kuklik's knee hits the ground. Orlando gets away with another one.
Number 94, Don Sasa, making the play. And it's a 3rd and 10. Kuklik throws high to Bailey. He's upended. Coming up quickly was Jason Bray. And the Chicago team, there's a complete difference in the emotionalism of Chicago. Orlando looks dead right now.
No question about it. The team that wants it the most is going to win this football game. And right now, Chicago wants it bad. Take another look at Brian Kuklik and whether or not he had that control of the ball before it comes out. I tell you, he doesn't have control of that ball, and Orlando's been very fortunate with the lucky calls today.
Corey Ivy deep. And Ivy gets a couple. The U.S. Army presents Victories in Life. Tonight we look at L.A. running back Saladin McCullough, who's had some bad luck with the law early in life, but straightened himself out with the opportunity to play. Saladin McCullough, a great example of the U.S. Army's victories in life.
And when the thing came out that, you know, I went to jail and they let me out, no charges or nothing, it was a big misunderstanding. It wasn't no write-up that said that. It was already a write-up that said McCullough was caught in a stolen car. And that's what everybody knew. They didn't know that, oh, it was a misunderstanding. You know, I just try to, you know, learn from my experience and make sure I don't go through the same thing that I went through before, and just better my opportunity that I have right now with the XFL to move on and open up other opportunities.
I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life right now.
We've been training hard for 7 long weeks.
We're almost there now, and we just need to prove that we're ready.
Basically, it comes down to you. You gotta keep going, gotta keep pushing yourself.
A part of me said, keep going, you're gonna do better. I never pushed myself harder.
It's taken a lot of motivation,
discipline, and confidence. But I think mostly it's taken a lot of mental work.
This is it, the 2-mile run, the final chance for me to max out.
Log on and be there at the finish line. Only at GoArmy.com.
Gatorade Energy Bar. Carbs to build stores of energy. What burns inside you?
You know what they say about oysters. The same is true about tires. Enhance your performance at Pep Boys, where 35,000-mile tires are just $4 for $99, or 70,000-mile Futuras 4 for $179. Fall in love with your car again at Pep Boys.
The XFL on UPN is brought to you by the United States Army, an army of one. By Gatorade Energy Bar, what burns inside you. By Lugs, the boots and shoes with an attitude, since you never know what you might run into. Lugs, boots and shoes. And by Smooth Bush Beer, an easy drinking Bush Light.
Last night, Los Angeles played San Francisco in a must-win situation out in the Coliseum in Los Angeles. The key play of the game, a fake kick. Noel Prefontaine, the holder, Cortez.
Noel Prefontaine.
And Noel Prefontaine LaFontaine into the end zone.
You knew something
a
was
high school quarterback in San Diego.
His first professional touchdown.
Fake the pitch.
Biggest game of the year.
Look out. He gets the pass off.
And then Maddox a little bit later to Copeland. The Extreme dominating the Demons. Demons flat after their big win 2 weeks ago. And if you look at the playoff potentials, Los Angeles played Chicago early in the season, won 39-32. LA rubbed out New York in week 5. Those are the playoff possibilities. New York has won. Our congratulations to Charlie Polari, who came in for New York this week, replaced McGuffey, who got hurt. And Polari leading New York to a win, but will it be enough? And now John Avery has checked into the backfield for Chicago. So Avery playing with an injured hamstring. Let's see what he can do. First pass complete in the flat to Aaron Bailey. McDougal with a short gain. Stephen Fisher coming up to make the tackle.
And I like that call on first down. Coach Ron Myers needs to mix up the first down package. It can't all be about the John Avery show with guest star LaShawn Johnson. Even though they need to do well, you got to be able to mix it up on first down.
And quickly, boss, do you use Avery as a decoy here?
I think I try to use Avery as often as possible to decoy the defense and try to keep him out of harm's way today.
2 tight ends. Fake the ball to Avery. McDougal hit as he throws, incomplete. In quickly was James Roberson out of Florida State, getting his arm up, whacking hard.
James Roberson beating Tony Ramirez off the block. Tony's got to get back and get a little bit better block on Roberson. He can't let Roberson come in and get a free shot on McDougal like that.
Rage defense 5th in the XFL in terms of points allowed, averaging 18 points a game. They don't take the ball away. Kind of a solid defense. Bend, don't break. They give some yards. They give some points, but they win most of their games.
They score a lot of points.
And they don't make a lot of mistakes. We got a couple of whistles, no flags.
What happened, baby?
We got it. Okay, guys.
It's a 2nd and 10. Spot the ball at the 49.
3-on-3
22-0. New York motivated. Rusty Tillman and company doing their thing.
You know, Charles Polari just needed to get out of New York, kind of shake off that New York dust and see if he's actually a pretty good quarterback. You just got to give him a chance.
Kirby Dardar, a 77-yard touchdown from Polari. So New York has done their job. Short pass complete to Junior Lord. And now New York has to hope that Orlando can get a little motivation, can get a little energy. Is it hard to manufacture that, Boz, when you're flat?
Not when you're playing for $100,000, it's not, because these guys are all getting paid the same amount of money, but the bonus check at the end is why they're out there playing.
3-0 Chicago. 5 minutes and 20 seconds to play first quarter.
And this is what Chicago doesn't want to be in 3rd down and long. You don't beat Orlando if you're going to sit in 3rd down and 4 and 5 and longer.
Blue 88.
McDougal deep drop. He's rushed and hit. And the 2nd sack of the game. It's Bill Duff.
And again, he beats Tony Ramirez. To come to Tony Ramirez's defense here, he's got 2 bad wheels down there. And Bill Duff, he got nothing but big RPMs coming at you.
And we've got a flag in the secondary. Junior Lord.
Contact 35 Orlando. 5 and a first down.
Was locked up, and it's going to go against Orlando.
Big break for Chicago here.
Number 35, defense.
Stephen Fisher
from the previous spot.
And Junior Lord. So Fisher, who's a minister in his spare time, battling with Junior Lord.
Now, McDougal doesn't even get a chance to get back set up and look downfield before he has to start the escape route there.
John Avery continues as the running back. First down, Chicago. John Avery going to carry the ball this time. Sidesteps a man, bursts up the middle for about 4.5.
And he said the word burst there. When I talked to John Avery before the game started, he said the thing that has affected his game so far, but this hamstring is his burst. He's got the speed, but it's that burst that helps get him away from the defender.
Take quick toss.
First week at Orlando, he ran wild. They couldn't tackle him. Last week, however, he just had 7 carries. Then he didn't practice the entire week.
Are you going to get a quick toss and a John Avery run right now?
Blue 191.
Second and 7. McDougal hums one to the outside. Bailey. And Bailey's got the first down. Aaron Bailey is the top enforcer receiver. He came in with 27 catches.
I tell you what, that's going to be a key matchup today. Aaron Bailey and Stephen Fisher. We're going to take a look and watch that all day long because Aaron Bailey's got that sneaky speed. He'll set his player up, and then he'll sneak him into a deep route, and then he'll burn him.
Aaron Bailey, the former Indianapolis Colt, goes wide right. It's a first down for Chicago. The enforcers on the move, leading 3-0. Leverson in motion. They fake the reverse. Avery pops a hole on the left side, and he's got about 6. Cedric Clark coming up to make the tackle.
And you know, that's not the John Avery that I saw 2 weeks ago prior to the hamstring injury. He didn't shoot through that hole with that John Avery speed. He got through it, he got 6 yards, but 2 weeks ago, John Avery's in the end zone with that hole. He's dancing, he just doesn't have that burst of speed that he has if he didn't have that hamstring injury. And I've had a hamstring pull, and it does weigh in the back of your mind because you don't want to pull that thing.
Second and 5 for the enforcers. The ball at the Rage 23, blitz coming. Avery scoots off left tackle, and Avery goes down near the 15. Lewis Riddick coming up to make the grab, but not before Avery gets 8. And we've got an injured player down for the enforcers.
Let's go. Great call on a storm blitz right up the middle here. Kevin McDougal does a great job of getting the ball off, does a great job of finding a hole, weaving his way and getting as much as he can. And that's the thing what John Avery does. He has the ability to find a hole where a hole's not there, and he just did it right there.
And kudos to Chicago center, number 74, Paul Janis. He picked up that blitz and allowed Avery to get outside. The 8th play of the drive for Chicago. It's Avery again, and he's going nowhere. Coming through quickly was Corey Mayfield, a former Oklahoma Sooner and an academic All-America, a la Brian Bosworth.
And they picked up Corey in the middle of the season to help provide depth, and I tell you,
depth and intelligence, Boz.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know many Oklahoma football players that aren't smart, too.
Nope. They're all academic All-Americans like you, Boz.
Match up, match up.
3-0 Chicago. Brian Bosworth along with Chris Reggie, Michael Barkan. I'm Chris Marlowe. A big game that will determine the final playoff team. And McDougal is going down for the 3rd time. Omar Brown coming in from the left corner position. McDougal, before this game, Boz, sacked just 7 times. He's gone down 3 times already today.
Absolutely. And you know what? The offensive line has done a great job. But here, the offensive line can't do anything because of bringing a safety on that. McDougal hasn't had a chance to get back set up and look downfield yet on any pass play yet today.
That's a good blitz. Avery taking the man in the middle. You're trained to take the inside guy, and the outside guy coming up very quickly.
They come in unchecked sometimes.
So 3rd and 20 now. Orlando's defense starting to stiffen a bit here. McDougal screen pass. Avery dropped it. John Avery came in with 16 catches, averaging 18.5 yards.
John did the cardinal sin there, trying to catch the ball with his hands. You need to cradle that ball as it's coming into you right there.
And once again, good pressure.
What I don't think he left him alone, you know what I'm saying?
See the average, 18.5 yards leads the XFL for Avery.
He's dangerous when he gets the ball out there, especially when he gets it in space.
So a 42-yard field goal attempt coming up for Andy Crossland. On the way. He got it.
2 for 2 today for Andy. He was 5 of 10 prior to those last 2, so he's done a great job. He's been all the points on the board for Chicago today, 6-0.
It's the XFL that keeps the shut down. They got you loving the sound. That mean you ride to a home run. To walk the asphalt. To pull in the pain. To make a narrow escape. Truly electrified. Keep your eyes on the prize. Make sure you don't fall when you're having a ball. Keep it moving in the clubs. The daylight loves.
Who could tell me what builds strong bones? Anybody
Anybody know that one? Milk, milk. What goes with pie? Milk, milk. What goes with beans?
I mean it. I don't want to hear.
Should have had your milk.
Get out.
And Q.
Q? Close?
What about a K?
No, G.
What about an X?
X. Seriously.
I'll have a root beer.
You'll have a milk. Say it with me. Osteo... G.
Want strong bones? Calcium may help prevent osteoporosis.
Bingo.
You know how they get like that? They get like that by eating the meat.
Whopper says carnivores prefer flame-broiled. In the land of burgers, the flame-broiled Whopper is king.
Hold it. Thanks.
21, please.
Like playing around with stuff? Well, at Best Buy, you can play around with anything you want. Actually, that's half the fun. Best Buy, go ahead, turn on the fun.
These aren't your ordinary monsters.
How the hell does that thing know how to drive a car?
And these aren't your ordinary cops.
Well, I have the research papers right here.
Oh, yeah.
Carl?
I had an itch.
Special Unit 2 premieres Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on UPN.
And now, Burger King presents the XFL Offensive Player of the Week. In the land of burgers, Whopper is king. Chicago quarterback Kevin McDougal engineered the Enforcers' comeback win over the Hitmen. McDougal threw for 3 TDs and returned from an injury to throw the game-winning touchdown pass. This is the second time this season that McDougal has won the award. That was the Burger King XFL Offensive Player of the Week. In the land of burgers, Whopper is king.
Yeah. Kevin McDougal, he told us in a meeting this week that he didn't think he played that well, and Ron Meyer, his coach, said it was his poorest game as an enforcer. Yeah. And yet he still got XFL Player of the Week, so he played pretty good. 3 touchdowns.
He wasn't as patient as Ron Meyer would like him to have been during the course of the game. He rushed some of his throws.
6-0 Chicago. 19 seconds remaining first quarter. Brian Shea is deep. And Crossland to kick. High and very, very short this time. Returnable. At the 15. And a good run back by Reggie Doster. Doster bringing it out near the 28. There's a new show that UPN has. It's called Chains of Love. This is a show where you're chained to 4 members of the opposite sex 24 hours a day for 4 days. And it premieres Tuesday, April 17th at 8, 7 Central, right here on UPN. That's the end of the first quarter. We're coming back. Chicago leading Orlando 6-0. After these messages, we'll be right back. You're watching the XFL on UPN.
Chains of Love premieres April 17th on UPN. Get attached.
On April 22nd, UPNI News presents an up-close look at the newest hit on Broadway.
I wanna be a producer.
The Producers. UPNI News' Pat Collins takes you behind the scenes of the new Mel Brooks musical starring Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick.
I'm going into the toilet. I'm going into show business.
Join us as Broadway premieres The Producers, the new Mel Brooks musical, a UPNI News presentation. Sunday, April 22nd at 8, only on UPN9.
I can see down your shirt.
Columbia Pictures presents Extreme Hunting.
Dang.
Extreme Fighting.
Why don't you talk into the microphone? I got a backup mic right here.
Extreme Dirt.
Guess I'm lucky it wasn't hot chili day today.
Joe Dirt.
Don't try this at home.
Rated PG-13. Opens everywhere Wednesday.
UPN 9 News. We're looking out for you. When you needed advice about dark skin care, we had the answer. The secrets to having sensational skin.
It's one of the best investments you can make.
Looking out for you.
Uncovering the horror of modern-day slavery.
These blacks are bred like cattle.
Africans sold into bondage, a human outrage. We showed you how you can make a difference.
Looking out for you.
The bottom line, why inner-city communities can't find big-name grocery stores in their neighborhoods.
There has been a problem of redlining, quite frankly.
We told you what you can do about it.
Looking out for you.
Your health concerns.
Within the African-American community, there really is a higher percentage, I think, of larger breasts.
Why many women say reducing their breast size is now a big medical issue.
Looking out for you.
We revealed how you can have a tattoo removed safely and for free.
We work with them to minimize the financial consideration.
UPN 9 News.
Looking out for you.
Bringing you stories that affect your life and results that change our world. Every weeknight at 10.
Welcome back to Soldier Field. A beautiful day in Chicago after one quarter of play. The Enforcers leading the Rage 6-0. The Orlando offense has been anemic so far. 9 plays. They've been sacked twice. They've lost a fumble, and they've had 3 penalties. Kuklik 1 of 3 for 6 yards.
Because that Enforcer defense is on fire right now.
Kuklik on play action. We've got markers down. The play is dead. So the Orlando offense, a little bit iffy right now, Buzz.
That's right.
False start. 79. Offense. 5 yards.
79 is right guard Sean Love. The offensive line for Orlando, considered one of the best in the league, boss. Dan Collins at left tackle, Jason Gamble left guard, Cal Dixon at center, Sean Love, Jeremy Akers, Vince Merrill, the tight end.
They've been very fortunate this year that starting lineup has been pretty much their starting lineup all year. They haven't been hit with that injury bug down there.
First and 15, Mike Black takes the handoff. Black breaks through a hole, and he's out past the 30 to the 32. A run of 8 yards. Ray Austin, the XFL's second leading tackler, taking him down.
Now, some of the things the Orlando offense needs to do today to control that ball and control that line of scrimmage is they need to throw on first down, and they tried to throw on first down prior to this play, but it was a penalty. They should continue to spread the wealth. They get so many weapons on Orlando, it's hard to cover all of them. They need to limit those forced throws and just take what that defense in Chicago is going to give you, and they should go ahead and pound that front 7 of Chicago.
One of the Enforcers shaken up. One of the big ones. That's number 86. That's Terrence Houston. And so they'll take him out. We should tell you that Dan Goodspeed is wearing number 83. He's an offensive lineman, but he will play a little bit of tight end.
That's the one position that they've gotten hit with the injury is their tight end. They're down to the 3rd tight end this year.
2nd and 7 for Orlando. Mike Black. Oh, gets 3.
Let's roll. All day.
A little kicking and shoving there.
Let's roll.
That could have been a penalty.
Let's go.
There's so much on the line right here for Chicago. They're going to play with as much emotion as they can muster up, as long as they can keep it up. And that's the only way they're going to beat the best team in the XFL.
Mike Black told us this week he'd like to carry the ball more. And it's really 3 running backs. It's 3 running backs by committee for Orlando. 3rd and 4. Kuklik looks off a receiver, completes it to the short side, but he's going to be short of the first down. He needed 4, he got 3.
That's a good spot.
Vance Houston should have gone downfield a little bit more, at least to the marker. So if he caught the ball and got tackled immediately, which he did by Kerry Cooks, he would have at least had the first down. Kuklik takes his 2nd receiver. He just doesn't get downfield far enough to get the first down.
Jay Taylor, considered one of the best in the league, set the punt. The ball will be live at the 38-yard line. Deep to return is Ivy. Wow, that's a boomer. Ivy at the 5. Ivy trying to get around the corner. He can't. A tremendous special teams play by Kevin Jefferson. Jefferson chasing Ivy down. We're coming back after a 57-yard punt. Chicago with a 6-0 lead.
The commission, good fellas. Good fellas. Love y'all, baby.
Smooth and refreshing as a mountain stream. Head for the mountains of Busch beer.
Attention tobacco manufacturers! You have a lot of embarrassing reports lying around the office. You can't just leave that job to any paper shredder. You need Shredder 2000.
That is right, folks. You need the Shredder 2000 to use on documents like this research report from 1981 that says today's teenager is tomorrow's potential regular customer.
Or this report where you actually examine the smoking patterns of 6th graders.
And you know what, folks? With the Shredder 2000, you don't even need to take those highly confidential files out of the cabinet. You can just throw the whole darn thing in the whole filing cabinet.
Heck yeah, or even your briefcase. Shredder 2000 shreds it all more efficiently, quicker, better than any shredder in this building. Am I right?
You are right.
I guarantee it.
And you know those top secret files you got on your computer? Just throw the whole computer and it's gone.
Completely gone. You need Shredder 2000.
Shredder 2000, now available in regular and king-sized.
Hey, Mr. Tool Belt, why don't you change your oil every 3,000 miles? And remember, women know when you lie. Look, missing an oil change is like giving a woman a vacuum cleaner for her birthday. You know better. Come on, consider the risk. This is reformulated Quaker State. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. Can you say insurance? Because I could say I told you so. Reformulated Quaker State. It's been tested. It works. What more do you need to know?
And now, the hit of the week is brought to you by Lugs, the boots and shoes with an attitude, because you never know what you might run into.
Here's Avery again. So, heads up. Gal holding up that sound dish just got absolutely hammered. Whatever it takes to get the best audio possible.
That was the Lugs hit of the week, featuring the Lugs props. Be careful out there.
Close to the ball, y'all get him. I'm gonna go outside.
John Avery, he grew up wearing number 33. He loved Tony Dorsett of the Dallas Cowboys. Then in high school, he discovered Barry Sanders, number 20. He's been number 20 ever since.
Who can blame him? That's probably one of the best running backs that ever donned a football jersey.
By the way, the girl in the hit is okay. Her name is Rachel. She is tough.
He's got that tough New York nugget.
Chicago starting with poor field position. John Avery. Once again, in case you missed it 2 weeks ago, on the final play of the game, John Avery pulled a hamstring against Birmingham. So they're talking some stuff. Avery playing sparingly last week, getting treatment for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it was questionable to bring him in that late in the game to try to ice a game that, in my mind, was already in the freezer. I don't think you bring your star in and try to get a first down when you're 13 points up. Now it's affecting him. If it cost him the game, you know, Coach Meyer could get the GOAT award of the year.
McDougal guns it over the middle, pass complete to Luke Leverson.
And for the first time, Kevin McDougal had time. He got a chance to scan the field, and that's what Kevin McDougal has done all the last 5 games, which is really where they've made their big mark. He's got time. He finds Luke Leverson over the middle, and Luke does a great job of finding that open spot and getting the first down.
Leverson last week caught 2 balls for 2 touchdowns. He's become one of McDougal's go-to guys. First and 10 Chicago, leading 6-0. As Willie Tate in motion. Here comes Avery back the other way. And Avery gets to the 26-yard line before he's corralled by James Burgess and Omar Brown. In case you missed it, New York has beaten Birmingham. The Hitmen putting the pressure on the Chicago Enforcers. Now Chicago has to win to get into the playoffs.
John not being totally effective so far. But like I said at the beginning of the telecast, it's going to take all 38 of these Enforcers to beat this Orlando football team.
The Busch update, New York 22, Birmingham nothing. Now New York having to hope that Orlando can get its act together. So far it's been all Chicago. Loose football and recovered by Kevin McDougal.
Come on. Got to do it quicker. Go back and look at what happened there on the center quarterback exchange. And you look at the center's got one of those big gloves on, and center's got actually he's playing with some brass knuckles in there. He broke his hand early in the season against New York. Doesn't affect the snap. He doesn't use that hand to snap with, but you know what? I don't think you'll ever get a holding call on Paul Janis.
That's number 74. He snaps with his right and he whacks with his left, boss.
388.
3rd and 10.
388. Set.
Blitz coming. McDougal whips it out, and the pass is complete, but it's going to be way short of the first down. Junior Lord gets 5. Omar Brown gets the tackle, and a 4th down coming up. So the Orlando defense has toughened up a bit, but the offense still questionable.
It's Chicago's inability on 2nd down to get something started to keep them out of 3rd down and long. Chicago knows that if they stay in 3rd down and long against Orlando, they're not going to be able to move the ball effectively.
Skinny Culver is deep. Crossland high. Beautiful punt. Skinny's got it. Skinny's pursued, and down he goes. He loses the football, but the ball is down. The official says the ball is down, and Orlando gets a break.
Deshaun Johnson shot out a cannon there to make that tackle on special teams.
You know, we've seen a lot of plays like that this year where that exact play is ruled a fumble. Not that time. So Galen Hall's offense will start up from the 22.
Okay, Minnie Culver, the Oklahoma State guy. Can't get away from LaShawn Johnson's speed.
Timeout called. Less than 9 minutes to play. First half. Chicago leading 6-zip.
You know how they get like that? They get like that by eating the meat.
Whopper says carnivores prefer flame-broiled. In the land of burgers, the flame-broiled Whopper is king.
Hey, Kane, nice scooter. Did somebody steal a tricycle?
Stupid way to burn fat. The smart way to burn fat. Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner.
Kane, this is the express line. Can't you count? Ooh. 1, 2.
A stupid way to burn fat. The smart way to burn fat. Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner.
Tempting, flirtatious, seductive. And that's just the fender. It's that time of year at Pep Boys where you can save over $90 on these great car care products. Fall in love with your car again at Pep Boys.
When did you folks see the light?
On a trip to my sister's, I said, why waste money when we can stay at Motel 6, didn't I, hon? Now see what happens when you listen. It's like that fear he had of cauliflower wouldn't go near the produce section.
Call us and see the light for yourself.
Listen up, Bravo Company. The defensive live fire exercise is a turning point for you as a soldier.
I know that I'm not by myself anymore. I'm part of a team.
4 Bravo, this is 1 November over.
They're gonna take care of me.
At this time, the enemy is 400 meters out.
And I'm gonna take care of them.
3, always forward.
I feel like I'm finally becoming a soldier.
Log on and see the soldier emerge. Only at GoArmy.com.
The XFL on UPN is brought to you by Burger King. In the land of burgers, Whopper is king. By Pep Boys. Cars like us, people love us. By Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner. And by the United States Army, an army of one.
We're set for a Busch Beer game update. Earlier today, the New York Hitmen and the Birmingham Bolts.
Craig Minervini in Birmingham. Charles Polario lost his starting job in week 3. Came alive off the bench today to spark the Hitmen. He found Zola Davis for a second quarter touchdown. Then in the third quarter, biggest play of the game to Kirby Dardar. And the Syracuse star raced around 4 defenders, 77 yards for the touchdown. The Hitmen kept it going thanks to turnovers, 5 on the day, 2 picks for Joey Ellams. This time he threw it over to Donnie Caldwell, who ran it in for yet another score. New York wins 22-0. They're still alive for now.
Next week, the San Francisco Demons will be at Orlando. That's Saturday, 8 p.m. on NBC. And then either New York or Chicago will travel out to La La Land to take on the Extreme. That's Sunday, 7 p.m. right here on UPN. Along with Brian Bosworth, Chris Raggy, and Michael Barkan, I'm Chris Marlowe. The final regular season game. Chicago has to win. And so far, they're doing what they can. It's 6-0. As Orlando's offense has been very sluggish. Brian Shea carrying the ball for the first time. He finished his collegiate career as the all-time leading rusher with over 6,900 yards. Wants to be an FBI agent when he's through with football. They've always said he's too small to play football, but it's really not. He's big, but he's short. He's 5'8".
Probably the best little big man on the field. I think he's got so much heart. He's hard to tackle. It's hard to see when he gets behind those big offensive linemen. He can make big plays out of nothing.
So Galen Hall looking for a spark for his offense. They hand the ball to Shea again. And Shea takes it up to the 30. 5 yards for Brian Shea. Ray Austin, who seems to be everywhere.
Third and 3 or 4. Let's go.
Jamie Baisley also helping out on that. Jamie Baisley came off last week, one of the biggest games of the year for Chicago. Came down with probably the biggest play of the year for Chicago in that fourth down interception. We can talk about that, maybe show it a little bit later in the telecast.
Baisley, the XFL Defensive Player of the Week. 3 runs right here. Brian Shea breaks through left side.
There it is.
And Brian Shea tackled from behind at the 46. We've got a flag. And Diallo Burks was mixing it up with Quincy Coleman. A gain of 15, but Burks and Coleman. And this may go against Diallo.
It looked like the way he had Quincy Coleman shaking his head. Quincy might have goaded him into doing something he shouldn't have.
He sure did. He sure did.
Orlando is going to cost him big time.
I think Coleman cracked him. Yeah. Burks retaliated, and the official saw it.
You always catch the second guy.
15 back, personal foul, 81 offense. From here, 15 back.
Look at him thinking he's all innocent. You know, he's sticky with something in there.
Personal foul, 81. Offense, 15 yards from the end of the run. Repeat, second down.
So Diallo Burks utilizing a maneuver that Brian Bosworth made famous, the shift to the nose.
You ain't doing that. Diallo just comes up. There's no reason for that, Diallo. You're not even in part of the play, and you just take away a big first down for your team.
So Burks is out, and Orlando, instead of a first down, it's going to be 3rd and 3. So Quincy Coleman, Corey Ivy, the defensive secondary, playing well so far. Brian Kuklik, the former Wake Forest star, hands the ball Brian Shea. And Shea has the first down.
Way to go, break.
Good blocking on the right side. Sean Love, Jeremy Akers, center Cal Dixon. I tell you what, if Galen Hall had his way, he'd like to run virtually on every play, grind it out, get a little bit of a lead.
Absolutely, and I think that's what Ron Myers was worried about today, was that they get so successful in that running game. If it gets going early, it's hard to stop it, so they may have to go to an 8-man front to slow that down, which is going to then give Brian Kuklik those open spots downfield.
Shea stays in. They reward him with another carry. So Shea gets 4. Brian Shea doing some work. He's 23 years old. He went to Emporia State. Interestingly, he was a wrestler in high school. Got some scholarship offers from big schools, but decided to go to tiny Emporia State, where he set all kinds of records.
You know, he also said in his hometown there was 1 light in his hometown, so that's a small town. I grew up in a small town. When I went to visit my grandfather, we had 2 lights. So yeah, it was a small town. 1 light town's got to be almost tiny.
Grandpa Bosworth making it into the show. Okay, Kuklik on the money. Pass caught by Lawrence Hart. Hart going to be short of the first down.
Chicago's doing a good job of making sure tackles after the catch. They're not giving up those yards after catch that they did early on in the season.
1 tray, 15 bounce on 1. Right?
Kuklik this year, he's thrown for 5 touchdowns, but 9 interceptions. 3 in each of the last 3 games.
Go!
3rd and 2. Mike Black He's got a first down. Mike Black at midfield, and he's tackled, upended by Dorian Brew. And if Brew doesn't get his hand on the ankle, he is gone. 13 yards.
Dorian Brew saves a touchdown for Chicago. Mike Black, this is what Mike Black gives you, that burst of speed that you don't get from Brian Shea. He's very patient with the way he runs, and he also finds that hole. Tell you, if Dorian Brew doesn't make that play, this is a different ball game.
Dan Collins had a terrific block, sealing it off for Black. 6-0, Chicago leading Orlando. Mike Black right up the middle, and the offensive line of Orlando is getting a big push now.
And you know
Danny Baisley making the tackle.
And Chicago's defensive line might have the toughest job of the year for them. They've got to create pressure on Kluklik while not allowing that running game to get going. And right now, they're not getting that push on that offensive line to keep the running game from keeping it go.
Fitzpatrick, Sasa, Hubert Thompson, and Matt Finkus, the front four. There's Big Don Sasa. Quit the team early in the season. Now has come back to add some beef to that offensive line. Ryan Shea back in. Orlando on the move. 2nd and 4. A fake to Shea. Kluklik with running room. And he's tackled from behind. Aaron Humphrey.
And again, Aaron Humphrey lines up in that defensive end position. Because of his speed, his athleticism, he can get off the block. He doesn't lose contain. And Brian Kluklik's got nowhere to go. Does a great job of pushing upfield and comes back, fall back inside and make the play. Nice job by Aaron Humphrey.
Chicago defense has really improved this year, boss. They started out a little bit disorganized. They started out in a 3-4, went to a 4-4, but now they've got their act together. 10th play of the drive for Orlando. It's a 3rd and 4. Shea, tackle for a loss.
And that's what Chicago needs to do on the big 3rd downs. Come up with the plays that turn the momentum of Orlando's offense.
Larry Fitzpatrick knifing in from his defensive tackle position, and Orlando forced to kick.
Fitzpatrick gets off the block, comes up underneath, and makes a big play in the backfield against Brian Shea.
Taylor to kick. It will be a live ball at the 16. Corey Ivy is deep along with Leverson. High spiral, it's a beauty.
Gonna have to field that.
Wow. And they're going to get number 26 for a danger zone infraction. It looked like he stopped 5 yards away. Reggie Doster down early, stopped, backpedaled, but still got called for the flag.
It's hard to judge that because you got the ball. You can't see the ball as a defensive player.
23.
You got the ball high in the air, and the only guy that can see it is Corey Ivy. Doster has no way of knowing where that ball's coming down, so he's got to be able to give that 5 yards cushion, and it's hard to backpedal when you're going forward.
You know, if I'm Doster, I just take him out. Just rip the guy.
Well, then it's 15 yards.
Well, that's okay.
Now you make the highlight package.
Well, you make the lugs hit of the week. You take him out. You don't get the penalty for nothing. Coming back, 6-0, Chicago. Welcome back to Soldier Field. A reminder, the XFL's first playoff game will be next Saturday on NBC. The San Francisco Demons at the Orlando Rage. Tickets available 9 a.m. tomorrow if you're in the Florida area at Rage box office locations, all Ticketmaster locations. Tickets are on sale now if you want to call 407-839-3900, and you can check on to XFL.com. The Demons and the Rage, the XFL's first playoff game. You'll see that next Saturday night on NBC.
And San Francisco met Orlando the second week of the season. Orlando winning that battle in Orlando 26-14. But it was a pretty good game. So look for that to be an explosive game itself.
Speaking of explosive, the Chicago cheerleaders.
Pretty explosive, is that what you're saying?
I would say amongst the best in the league. Amongst the best in the league.
They're all pretty good.
Chicago leading 6-0, 2:43 remaining in the first half. Low scoring, the Orlando defense getting its act together. The Orlando offense has been flat. Cedric Clark making the tackle.
This is the kind of pressure that McDougal's had to endure all day long. He just hadn't had time to step back, set up, and find a receiver. The one time he did, he was able to connect downfield with Luke Leverson.
2nd and 7 for the Enforcers.
Blue 191. Blue 191. Set. Hunt.
Blitz. And McDougal throws. It's complete. Threw a floater out to Junior Lord. Gets a couple of yards. I tell you what,
McDougal got hit pretty hard on that rush blitz right up the middle. Again, he's under so much pressure. He's lucky to get rid of this ball. John Avery's not able to get inside. Berger's coming inside, making a pretty good hit on Kevin McDougal. Looks like Kevin's going to have to take a moment here.
Defensive coordinator Charlie Bailey of Orlando throwing some complicated blitzes at the Chicago Enforcers. 1:57 to play. We're coming back 6-0 Chicago.
Okay, people, settle down, take your seats.
Mr. Winfield?
Mm-hmm.
I left my project at home.
Well, that's too bad. It is 80% of your final grade.
Excuse me, is there a problem here?
No.
Listen, I think our friend deserves an A. An A? An A plus. You got that?
This could happen. Emphasis on could. When you're in a jam, just dial down the center. 1-800-CALL-ATT and save big bucks on every call.
I swear, I know this guy.
Use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
Birds do it. Bees do it. Guys with SUVs do it. It's that time of year at Pep Boys. Get free installation of Gabriel Pro Rider Premium Shocks. Fall in love with your car again at Pep Boys.
This spring, see the movie with no Academy Awards.
Boys got something to say to me? Why don't you talk into the microphone?
Soldier. Rated PG-13. Opens everywhere Wednesday.
Never once did your car ask you for jewelry or flowers. Never once did it ask you if it looks fat, or did it get mad at you for leaving the seat up. Your car always gives you exactly what you want. Doesn't it deserve something special in return?
Okay, who are you?
The milkman?
Do you have a sidekick?
No.
A nemesis?
A what?
A bad guy?
I'm a people person.
Have you been fighting crime long?
I don't fight crime.
What do you fight?
Osteoporosis. My never-ending supply of milk. And chocolate milk.
Want strong bones? Calcium may help prevent osteoporosis.
On April 17th, UPN will chain 5 single people together for 4 days.
It's kind of sexy, actually.
Real people.
What did I get myself into?
Real romance.
They care about you. I do.
Real choices.
There's relationships, boss me.
Chains of love. Get attached Tuesday, April 17th on UPN.
Take mine. I don't know yet.
At halftime, folks, we want to get your input on XFL.com. Get your picks. You can vote for the offensive and defensive players of the year, the hits of the year, the all-access moment of the year. So as we come down the stretch in the first half, warm up your computers, log on to XFL.com, and we'll guide you through it at halftime. Got some great choices. Haven't been decided yet. And we need the fans to vote. We know who you think are the announcers of the year. Obviously, Chris Marlowe, Brian Bosworth, Michael Barkan, and Chris Raggy. You're not going to vote on that, but everything else you'll have a vote,
you get a say in that,
yeah. Chicago up 6-0. John Avery didn't start the game, but he has played most of the first half. McDougal, quarterback draw. Kevin McDougal.
He's got room.
McDougal at midfield, and McDougal trying to get out of bounds. He's tackled as he gets to the 48. So a good adjustment by Chicago offensive coordinator Steve Endicott. And McDougal rumbles for 30.
And you saw what they did. They put John Avery in motion, went to a no-back set, and left Kevin McDougal with all the space up in the middle and all the defensive back covering the receivers. Took him about 25 yards to figure out what was going on.
Number 67, the right guard, Benny Anderson, got a great block to spring McDougal.
Green 88.
Chicago trying to add to its lead. First down. Avery, flea flicker. McDougal throwing deep. Junior Lord is out there. He's got him. Inside the 5.
I was wondering when Chicago was going to stop being conservative and be a little creative.
42 yards on the pass play. McDougal to Junior Lord.
You know, you certainly didn't want to see Chicago wait for the second half to dip into that bag of tricks. They picked the right time to do it, and they got Orlando in the right coverages. Just a little flea flicker. It shows you the strength of McDougal's arm. Junior Lord got him behind coverage. Did a great job of catching that ball.
LaShawn Johnson replaces Avery. Johnson drives inside the 5, tackled by Jimmy Clements.
Ooh. Boy, that ball almost slipped through. You know, it almost doesn't count.
Now he's got it, Bosworth. You used to tuck your balls. Your ball, I mean. He had it right there.
That's right.
Junior Lloyd with a big play. 2nd and goal. Thanks, Junior.
Green 88.
LaShawn Johnson gets the toss. Johnson hit, breaks the tackle. Johnson hit, and he squirms to the 2. Boy, I tell LaShawn Johnson, he dishes it out, and he takes it.
He certainly can, and he got around the corner because Willie Tate did a great job of still blocking. And he just, unfortunately, ran into too many Orlando Rays players.
We got 16 seconds.
All right, you got 16 seconds. If it's a play on the field, you got to run right to the referee and call time.
Sean just tries to find a seam to go through. If it isn't there, he's going to make it. He didn't go down the first time. Too many Rays players the second time.
Timeout's been called.
The field goal puts us 2 scores up. Yeah, it's a hell of a deal on the flea flicker.
Yeah.
All right. They're matching up.
I know, good. All right, Kevin, let's get it yourself now. Is he there with you?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Yeah, we're going to go this time.
Trips right.
Roy, tell him to oversplit, Kevin.
Tell him to oversplit. Now
we're going Roy, quad right.
Quad right.
QB draw.
Roy, trips right or quad? Quad right.
Roy, quad right.
Roy, quad right.
The back's going right.
QB draw.
QB draw.
And tell him to oversplit.
Well, they're going to try that same play that they had success on to start this drive. Kevin McDougal, they're going to try to split everybody out. Quad right means receivers 2 to the right, 2 to the left, and they're going to get the linemen to get a little bit bigger split as well. See if they can't get a rush upfield by the defensive lineman of Orlando.
All right, look for the quarterback draw. 16 seconds to play. 3rd and goal from the 2.
They still have 2 timeouts left.
2:44.
Avery's the running back. It is the draw, and it's a touchdown, Chicago.
Ron Myers, the coach Endicott, calling all the right plays the first half.
Chicago Enforcers get their first touchdown, and now they'll try for an extra point.
Jump on left, 17 on 1. Ready? Oh, yeah. You can give it
They'll try from the 2.
Green 88. Green 88.
LaShawn Johnson. He's in there.
Yes, sir. North and south, LaShawn Johnson.
You know, LaShawn Johnson diagnosed with cancer, lymphoma, back in 1998. Last week, he went for another checkup in New York. He had the blood work and the CAT scan, etc. And what a comeback he has made, Brian Bosworth. Over 100 yards last week.
Against the XFL's number 2 rated defense in the league. They don't drop off that much when LaShawn Johnson comes in the game. LaShawn Johnson runs north and south, and so does Kevin McDougal for the 6. Great call at the right time. A great job of blocking up front for Chicago's offensive line.
Christopher Perez, Rob Murphy, Paul Janis, Benny Anderson, and Tony Ramirez, the offensive line.
LaShawn Johnson coming up, finding a little crease. Getting that all-important point after.
So 13 seconds remain first half. Kevin McDougal, 4-1 as a starter, and what a godsend he has been for the Chicago Enforcers. The Enforcers starting the year 0-4, and now they're in command.
Keep it going, baby. We got to keep it going.
If they win tonight, they are headed to the playoffs. 13-0 Chicago. Set to kick off is Crossland. And he hops a bouncer. Reginald Doster to the outside, and Doster takes it up near the 33. Orlando has come from behind this year 4 times in the fourth quarter to win games, and they're going to have to put on quite a show in the second half, apparently, Brian Bosworth, to get back into this one.
But they have not been shut out that I know of the entire year in the first half, and that's what they're staring right in the face right now, 13-0 in Chicago against this Chicago team and these Chicago fans, because they want to go to the playoffs.
Chicago in a deep prevent defense, and Orlando takes a knee.
We're good. Yeah, we're good. John, give me an injury report right now. How you feeling?
I feel good. The guys are stepping up for me, pick up the slack. Kevin got more rushing yards than me right now, but I ain't mad. Happy birthday to you. Love you, girl.
You're playing the ultimate decoy out here today, though, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't mind, as long as we get it done.
Derek Clark, you've got a prolific scoring offense, yet you haven't been able to move the ball on this team. A statistically weak defense. You haven't gotten past the 35. What are you going to do next half?
We just going to have to come out and execute and put things together. We're just looking a little sluggish right now. We got to go ahead and talk about it at halftime and turn this thing around.
So the Chicago Enforcers are 1/2 away from making it to the playoffs. They lead it 13-0.
Chains of Love premieres April 17th on UPN. Get attached.
I'm Reg Wells. Tonight on UPN 9 News, Black and Latino activists take to the turnpike in an effort to highlight the need for racial reforms. The battle to free an American citizen detained in South Korea for helping publish a book. And we'll tell you how kicking the habit could be as easy as a pinprick. Opening night on Broadway for actor Gary Sinise, and we've got your ticket for a peek at One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Join us tonight after the XFL game.
Having problems finding the person of your dreams?
Anybody single?
Then look under L for love and let us set you up on a double date.
Seriously.
Blind Date is now on back-to-back every weeknight starting at 11. Find out if love is in the air.
The happiest I've ever been on a date in my life.
Or just nowhere to be found.
Might not be my type. I'm definitely not.
Don't miss the kisses.
You're a doll.
The misses.
Sweetie.
And the disses.
You make me sick.
On Blind Date, weeknights at 11, only on UPN 9.
Goodness, Beelzebub, you look like heck.
Ah, stick a pitchfork in it, Junior. It's hot as Hades in here and I'm burnt out.
Then drink a Red Bull energy drink. It vitalizes body and mind.
Red Bull, huh? Ah, tastes great. But, oh, what's that?
There is one side effect, though.
Oh, wings. I can't grow wings. The master of evil cannot grow wings.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Get ready to have some fun.
There's trouble on the future.
Because every weekday, a bunch of wacky...
Somebody has to say it.
Wild...
Go Family Feud.
That was my answer.
Warring families.
That's the family you want to fight with.
Join comedian Louis Anderson.
Is there a knife in my back? It's all in the family.
Family Feud, that is.
I'm afraid of where this is going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This feud's definitely got a new attitude.
Weekdays at 4, only on UPN 9.
Back in Soldier Field, we're at the half. Chicago leading Orlando 13-0. An interesting game played earlier today on TNN. New York and Birmingham. Check it out.
Greg Benervini in Birmingham, Alabama. The Thunderbolts and the Hitmen today. Birmingham trying to erase a 6-game losing streak, but Graham Lee had troubles with one of the best defenses in the XFL. 5 Birmingham turnovers. Dwayne Sabb with an INT for New York, New Jersey. Court McGuffey had a tough go of it starting. Charles Polari came on. He knows about tough goes. Yanked in week 3. He came on the end of the second quarter and found Zola Davis from 3 yards out for a 9-0 hitman lead. Ty Talton tossing in his name, a late nominee for hit of the year on Steph Williams. Steph was okay. Third quarter, Polari to Kirby Dardar, the longest play from scrimmage for a touchdown for the Hitmen this year. 77 yards, the conversion, 16-0 Hitmen. Late in the third quarter, the 5th turnover, and Joey Ellams had 2 of them. Off to Donnie Caldwell. The Hitmen win 22-0. Their playoff hopes alive. The star today, you know who.
This is a special game ball. Special game ball. Let me tell you something. Nobody's been. For him to come out there and perform in the way he did. Hey, you guys have never been there, don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, but I tell you, it's special. Charles Polari.
So New York hanging on, still alive, becoming huge rage rooters tonight. In Birmingham, I'm Craig Minervini.
For everybody, man, for everybody. Go to playoffs, go to playoffs. Give me a loose, give me a loose.
Charlie Polari, the hero in New York, running down the weekend scoreboard. Los Angeles dominating San Francisco. Memphis playing great ball right now. They just missed the playoffs. Las Vegas finishes 4th in the West, and New York shutting out Birmingham. Tommy Maddox continuing to play well. LA clinching the West. Druckenmiller, he's had a big year, Boz. And Charlie Polari, who would have thought it? So the brackets right now, as we see them, New York or Chicago would take on the Extreme. San Francisco would take on the Orlando Rage. Welcome back, everybody. Along with Brian Bosworth, I'm Chris Marlowe. If you're Rusty Tillman, if you're a New York, New Jersey Hitman, if you're a player on their team or in the organization, you have to be ready to throw up with what you're watching. Or the Orlando Rage, they're just playing uninspired football.
Yeah, they really are. This is not the Orlando team that started the season dominating the first 6 weeks of the season. I tell you what, it just goes to show you how important Jeff Brom is to this team. The leadership that he brings out there and the commitment and the energy that he does certainly is not what you're seeing out there on the football field today against Chicago.
The XFL season, the end of the season is fast approaching. We would like you to invite our fans to participate in the XFL Fan Picks of the Year. Please log on to XFL.com right now and cast your vote for the winners in the following 5 categories. Best Offensive and Defensive Player of the Year, Biggest Hits of the Year, Best Finishes of the Year, and Best All-Access Moment of the Year. Voting will continue until April 17th, and the winners will be announced at the $1 Million Game on April 21st. Throughout halftime, we'll be showing you all the nominees in all the categories. So let's get it going. First, here are the choices for the Best Offensive and Best Defensive Players of the Year.
The XFL.com Fan Picks. Burger King presents the Offensive Player of the Year, John Avery. The league's most exciting player, John Avery, leads the XFL in rushing.
Let's go! Avery's got some room.
John Avery, touchdown, Chicago! Jeff Brom. Jeff Brom is the XFL's highest-rated quarterback. He guided Orlando in their bid for an unbeaten season.
Brom. Oh! Look at him go! Oh. Look at him go! He's going for a touchdown!
Jermaine Copeland. Copeland has more receptions than anyone, and he makes them all with a bang. Tommy Maddox. Tommy Maddox leads all XFL quarterbacks in touchdown passes, and no one else but Tommy will throw for more than 2,000 yards.
Nobody's been hotter in the XFL than Tommy Maddox.
Mike Pawlowski. The Polish rifle is among the league leaders in passing yards, accuracy, and TD passes. He's also the inspirational team leader.
No regrets! No regrets!
Burger King presents the Defensive Player of the Year, Shante Carver. Shaka is the last thing a quarterback wants to see. He's taken out 2 already and lays claim to one of the most athletic interceptions this year.
Trouble.
Wow, what a great play by Shante Carver.
Kelvin Kinney.
Let's go play some defense.
Kelvin Kinney anchors the league's best defense, and he strikes fear in opponents every time he takes the field. Ron Merkerson. Big Merk had 11 tackles last week against Chicago, but just try tackling him when he has the ball.
Big Ron Merkerson going to try and run it in at the 10. Merkerson is in.
Joseph Tuapala. Tuapala has more tackles than any other outlaw. He also has a nose for the ball. James Willis. It seems nobody can get around James Willis, the XFL's leader in tackles.
All right, John Avery, certainly a candidate for the XFL Offensive Player of the Year. Brian Bosworth, who do you like? Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year?
I like Tommy Maddox. I think you take him off their team, they're not playing as they're the most dominant team in the XFL right now.
Okay, Defensive Player of the Year?
Defensive Player of the Year. There's so many of them out there. I like Kelvin Kinney. I think he's a dominant force on that Las Vegas defense.
Okay, each week in the XFL, we've come to expect hard-hitting action with bone-crunching hits. Now let's take a look at our nominees for the biggest hit of the year.
The XFL.com fan picks. Lugs presents the hit of the year. Ray Austin.
Barker, clear lane. He's got a room. Ray Austin made the hit.
Shante Carver.
And Jet Ball paid the price for that one.
Shante Carver again.
The quarterback just got blocked.
Separated. It's separated.
Jamie Baisley.
Line drive kick. Ball bounces. You got to get on it. Jamie Baisley almost beheaded Damian Dotson.
Corey Ivy.
Maddox looking for the end zone. What a touchdown! They've been done. Got killed by Corey Ivy.
Lugs hit of the year.
Jamie Baisley.
Well, they can say whatever they want, which is fine. I'm from New York. I'm a big boy. I can take it. You can keep booing. I love it, baby. I'll be back next week and the week after.
Tommy Maddox. Tommy's tirade.
Now here's a dilemma. 9 seconds to go. You got 4th down. They're going to kick a field goal.
He can't make it. Let's don't kick it.
You can log on to XFL.com and make your pick. So the voting will end
April 17th.
And the counting will stop.
That'll be April 21st.
And they'll announce the votes at
the $1 Million Game.
All right. Hope you enjoyed that. You can keep voting as many times as you like on XFL.com. All right, 13-0 at the half. A lot of interesting plays, a lot of big hits. And certainly a half dominated by Chicago.
No question about it. And they need to dominate this half. They need to dominate the second half if they want hope of making it to the postseason. They've made all the big plays. They made all the right catches. They've even got the right calls at the right time. Kevin McDougal doing a great job of improvising, doing what he has to do to get this Enforcer team the 13-point lead they have today.
So the Chicago Enforcers are close. One half of football remain. The Enforcers could be going to the playoffs.
Showtime. I think they're cover 1.
Woo! Yeah, looking great now.
What are you doing? You ain't going in there.
Coach Galen Hall, what did you tell your team at halftime?
Well, we just got to pick the pace up. Chicago's playing well. We've got to go make some plays, both offensively and defensively. We got to get some turnovers, and we got to get some touchdowns.
They play with enough passion for you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, our guys play hard. I don't have any second guessing about that. We play hard. We'll play hard this half.
The quarterback sneak obviously worked very well in the first half. This is the biggest 30 minutes of your career right now. You ready for this?
Yeah, you know, this is a great team, and we've just got to keep the ball rolling. You know, they're the #1 rated team in the league, so, you know, we can't slow down.
Can you smell the playoffs?
Yeah, but we got a long ways to go.
A quietly confident Kevin McDougal. A supremely confident Corey Ivory stands deep. Set to kick it off, Jay Taylor. Glad you're with us on UPN for primetime football. The Orlando Rage, the #1 team in football, and the Chicago Enforcers. And so far, it's been all Chicago as Ivy spreads his way up to the 27-yard line. The Miller halftime stats. Brought to you, of course, by Miller Genuine Draft.
Hey, look at that, passing yards, 2 for Orlando, and that's not good. That's not vintage Orlando football. The turnover is a big factor. That gave him 3 points, but the emotion is what you don't see as a graphic on there, and Chicago's had all the emotion so far today.
New York won earlier, 22-0 over Birmingham. They sit, they watch their TVs. They're watching right now and hoping that Orlando can turn it on and come back and overtake Chicago. McDougal, 7 of 10 for 83 yards. John Avery bounces it to the outside. He's getting a block from Bailey out there. And he runs for about 7. Cedric Clark running him down.
And John did a great job of baiting the defensive players for Orlando up inside, and then he found a little burst of speed there to bounce it outside and get a quick 8-1.
First down.
Let's go. Up left, 5 belly, first down. Ready?
John Avery, 5'9", 180 pounds, 25 years old, out of Mississippi. Not big, but very, very elusive. Skips his way for about 3. He's got a first down. So the Chicago offensive line blocking well, and Avery running from behind.
You know, it's ironic because that offensive line for Chicago has been banged up all year long. They've had to move tackles to guards, guards to centers, and they've done a great job going down the stretch to put 3 wins back to back together to put themselves in a position to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Ron Myers says the offensive line is as good as it's been for us all season.
Green 88. Set.
On first down, they give it to Avery. On the reverse, Leverson nearly had him, and now he is buried. So a great defensive play by Orlando. James Burgess coming in to blow it up.
You better go down, boy. You better go down.
You better go down, brah. That's good advice, Boz.
Well, you know what? Orlando is a smart defensive football team. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They stay home. They do their job. Nobody's more athletic on the run than Jeff Burgess there. He makes the big plays. He stays at home. He does exactly what he has to do.
What we got here? Take it.
Burgess, one of the best in the league. One of the talkiest, too.
It's off. Green 88.
A loss of 14, so it's 2nd and 25. McDougal trying to set up the screen. He's got Avery. And the Orlando defense closing very quickly.
The pace of Orlando, just like Coach Galen Hall had mentioned there at halftime, has been picked up here a little bit, and they're flying around a little bit more.
Pay attention. Damn.
Burgess not really known for his pass coverage skills. He's a little thick in the hips, but he's able to get out, break down, and make a tackle.
Nothing, boy.
And he'll let you know.
Stub jet 2. Stub jet 2. Left.
You talk that much, Boz, when you were playing linebacker?
You know, when you're playing, you don't realize how much you talk. And then, you know, here you listen to it. But yeah, you do talk. You do chat. Little chatty Cathy's.
McDougal.
He's got him.
Pass complete. Fred Coleman. Coleman's 4th catch of the year, and it's a big one. 32 yards. And he beat Stephen Fisher.
And how Fred Coleman got behind Stephen Fisher on a 3rd down like that is beyond me. Kevin McDougal has some time to throw the ball. Finds Fred Coleman downfield. did a great job. The offensive lineman had given the kind of time he needed to find Fred Coleman downfield.
Exactly right. You give McDougal time. He's a very accurate quarterback. He was the most accurate quarterback in Notre Dame history and one of the top throwers in the XFL in terms of percentage. Just got the play off. Short pass, complete. A gain of 5. Aaron Bailey with a catch.
Reggie Doster playing off of him a little bit, and you got to respect Aaron Bailey, the old veteran. Again, he's got that sneaky, speedy, deep speed that you got to respect, because he will do a good job of setting up the defensive back. Before you know it, he's behind you.
Blue 191.
LaShawn Johnson is in at the running back position. Junior Lord in deep motion. 2nd and 4. Johnson. There's nobody that hits the hole faster than LaShawn Johnson. He says, if I have a weakness, it's patience.
Yeah. Yeah, he feels that, and one of the things that he has learned from, ironically, Coach Skipper from San Francisco, who coached him in New York, is how to be patient. Let the hole open up a little bit. Be patient. Watch your blockers. Give them a chance to give you a little alley, and then you can make the big play.
Shake it off now. You all right, buddy?
Ron Meyer trying to guide his enforcers into the playoffs after an 0-4 start.
388.
On first down, McDougal throws it away.
And he threw it away wisely, because they had 2 blitzers coming from the backside, and McDougal was going to pay the price for that one.
Can't handle this.
We got you. We're okay. Give it to Kevin. Phones are dead.
And Avery, we mentioned that he had not practiced all week, so he's sucking some wind. And playing hurt tonight. He doesn't average what he normally averages about 5.5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
But tonight he's getting it out for the team in a must-win situation for Chicago. McDougal this drive 3 of 4 for 40 yards. Another pass coming. He unloads it deep. Touchdown Chicago!
What a great throw!
Aaron Bailey, 29 yards.
Beat Reggie Doster. Reggie Doster was right there with him, but the throw was right on the money.
And the crowd goes crazy. Yeah, we talked about McDougal's accuracy, Boz.
And he had time. That's why he was so accurate right there. He had the time. It was a 3-step drop. It was on time, and he threw it to a spot. Aaron Bailey was at the right spot. Doster didn't get that bump on him that he needs to at the line of scrimmage. And there's that sneaky speed I was talking about. Before you know it, he's behind you.
Bailey's 3rd touchdown catch of the year. And the enforcers trying to turn 19 into 20.
All day, club. All day.
Just the flat.
LaShawn Johnson has gotten the carry most of the time in this situation. Right in front of him is Charles Wiley. And Chicago takes a timeout.
Taking another look at that touchdown here. Again, it's the time is the key, and the key is the delivery. It's all the money, and it doesn't get any prettier than that. Doster's got to get a bump on him at the line of scrimmage. You can't let Aaron Bailey run scot-free down the sideline like that.
Well, Stephen Fisher and Reggie Doster have been alternating in that right cornerback spot. And this time it's Doster who's beaten on a perfect pass play.
That's hard to defend unless you start the defense at the line of scrimmage.
So that ball tossed into the crowd. Those balls, as you know, Boz, cost $80.
Tough to get one of those balls. I got people asking me all the time, can you at least get me a ball?
Aaron, you did a great job of gaining separation at the last minute when you needed it.
Hey, one step close to the playoffs. That's our goal. Go to the playoffs. We're one step.
You're gonna need that bonus, because you know you're gonna get fined for throwing that ball in the crowd.
Hey, we just gotta keep doing what we're doing. We're gonna make it.
Good job.
His bonus for this game would be $2,500. I'm told the fine for throwing into the crowd is $2,600. Make a little extra cash for the XFL and Vince McMahon. The point after is coming up. LaShawn Johnson.
Green 88. Green 88.
McDougal throw for it. Lofts it into the end zone. Willie Tate got it.
And here comes another $2,600 in the stands.
Everything's going right for Chicago. They got a blitz coming right up. Kevin just unloads it. Willie Tate, ironically, never wears gloves, and that's why he can fling it that far up into the stands.
I tell you what, you got to put in some kind of a play for Willie Tate there. He's got a good arm. Free Willie! Free Willie! So the Chicago Enforcers and their fans and their cheerleaders and their staff feeling good. 8:43 remaining in the game, and they lead at 20-0.
America's Air Force has a plane so advanced, it dominates everything in the air. Yet on radar, it's as small as a bird. The meanest, baddest bird on the planet. Join the team that keeps us flying. America's Air Force. No one comes close.
Hey, Kane, nice scooter. Did somebody steal a tricycle?
Stupid way to burn fat. The smart way to burn fat. Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner.
Kane, this is the express line. Can't you count? Ooh. 1, 2.
A stupid way to burn fat. The smart way to burn fat. Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner.
Sports drinks. Not cutting it, okay? What do you bench? 350. Gallons? By the way, your body called. Yeah, looking for some vitamin D and A. Come on! Hey, I found a quarter. Can I get a spot here? Yeah. What are you drinking? Sports drink. Sports drink? Later, sunshine. Well, you just hit the stop button. They got a stop button, or you just stop walking, or you got to... Ow.
Want to play? Milk has 9 essential nutrients active bodies need.
I'm all right. I'm up.
The XFL on UPN is brought to you by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Never miss a genuine opportunity. By America's Air Force. No one comes close. By Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner. And by milk with 9 essential nutrients. Got milk?
The Chicago Enforcers under Ron Meyer played their first 3 games on the road. They lost them all. Then they came home to Soldier Field and lost that one. 0-4. Everybody had given them up for dead. But the Chicago Enforcers now look like they're going to get into the playoffs, barring a miracle comeback.
They're the hottest team right now in the XFL. Their march was 4-1. Hot as a pistol, and they're peaking at exactly the right time going in.
And one of the men responsible, the man on the red phone, Kevin McDougal. McDougal has been absolutely outstanding since he was activated earlier in the season.
He really has been the key to their resurgence. When he came in, their offense just became balanced.
Blossomed.
Just blossomed, exactly.
Brian Shea is buried. So everything going right for Chicago right now. A reminder that UPN has a new show called Special Unit 2 about a secret division of the Chicago Police Department that hunts down real monsters. Take a look at these weapons.
What's that?
Red ammo.
How many times have you used red ammo before?
Just once on an apartment building.
What are you two so happy about?
We just saved some guy's life and blew up something big. I'd call that a pretty good night.
Special Unit 2 premieres Wednesday at 8, 7 Central right here on UPN.
Yeah, and Orlando's just not in the groove tonight. They haven't been in the groove really since Jeff Brom got hurt against Los Angeles. It's been a struggle ever since. Kuklik is 3 of 6 for 13 yards. That's just not Orlando football.
Passing game has been completely stymied by the Chicago defense. Second and 10 for the Rage. Pass complete. Over on the far side. A 4-yard gain for Lawrence Hart. Lawrence Hart plays the piano in his spare time. He's not Liberace, but that's a good thing.
It's a soothing thing for him.
160 hooks.
160 hooks on one. What do you
now they're going to start going downfield a little bit and see if they can pick up some bigger chunks of yards. Right now, Chicago's giving them all the little stuff underneath, but they need to start stretching this field.
Critical drive for the Orlando Rage. Got to get something going. Kuklik fires one, and he's got a first down to Mario Bailey. So Mario Bailey gets 8 and a first down.
Now the linebackers for Chicago, they have to start being careful. They can't start biting on the little stuff. Let them have that little stuff because they're baiting you. Before you know it, they'll come in on the 15 to 18 yards behind you, and they'll start getting the bigger stuff.
Hug! Liz! Go!
Kuklik hums another one. And it's going to be very close to the first down. So Kuklik hooking up with Mario Bailey twice.
Good job, Mario.
And that's another first down. So maybe Kuklik's starting to get a little rhythm. This is a must-score situation for Orlando.
I think they got to get some points on the board. Chicago's got to start matching. Right now they've got 4 wide receivers or 3 wide receivers in. So Chicago's got to start matching Orlando for the personnel they've got on the field.
Just over 6 minutes remaining, third quarter. 20-0 Chicago. Kuklik bounces off Swain, and it's intercepted by Chicago.
Sosa coming down with a rock.
It's Sosa time.
That's another interception, but you can't fault Brian Kuklik for that. Other than he might have thrown it a little too hard, but you still got to come down with that ball.
We mentioned earlier that Don Sosa quit the team earlier in the season and then called Coach Meyer and said, I want to come back. And he said, okay, we need you. So he's just returned to the active roster, and it's a nice pickup. He's got a big body and some long hair, Boz.
He's got a really big body, and he's got some really nice hands, and Coach Ron Meyer appreciates those nice hands right now.
Sosa, the former Washington State star, the second turnover for Orlando. 5:58 to play in the third. Chicago continues to dominate the Rage.
I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life right now.
Big Sass at 330 pounds. You don't get a whole lot of interceptions. Tell me about that 1-yard return out there.
We were just getting upfield. And after he threw the ball, I just turned and ran to the ball. It just popped up in the air.
You were so excited a second ago. Show me some emotion.
Oh, man, I can't. Glory to God. I love you guys back in Charlotte, and that was for Chi-Town.
Kevin, that pass have a little too much mustard on it for you? Was it too tough to handle because it was too fast coming?
I just didn't make the play.
What's with this offense tonight? This powerful offense, you guys aren't doing it.
Nothing to say.
Well, nothing to say. Says it all.
That says it all right there. The first 4 games, if you don't win the turnover ratio, you don't win games. When you start getting turnovers and you don't give any away, you start winning games, and that's been the key to Chicago's success the second half of this season.
Chicago back on offense. Kevin McDougal having a big night. They take the end around. And a marker is down. Avery tackled immediately.
I'm hollering the eye. Come on, man. I'm hollering the eye. I'm
Holland, I couldn't go out. I got to come out.
And it's a hold against the enforcer.
All right. Well, we got this run ends right here.
Yeah. Well,
run be fine.
They might, but decline it.
We take him back. Take him back. 10 yards.
Quick squad!
I want. It hasn't been a good night for that man.
66 offense.
Ryan
10 yards
Kuklik
from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Rob Murphy with the infraction there.
The only time we get on camera is when we get called for holding.
Yeah, but it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. Come on.
At least he didn't get kicked off the island.
Quick. 151. Pump X.
Upright quick. 151 pump X on one. Ready?
20-0 Chicago. Orlando at 8-1. Looking at its second loss of the year. His lead holds up. Pump fake. It's not there. McDougal with some quick feet. That pass is on a bounce. Incomplete.
But did you see Kevin McDougal back there buying time? Looked like a basketball player with those quick feet just coming in and out and getting out of the space. This is what the athleticism of Kevin McDougal gives you back there. This is why the Chicago offense has a force that balances that force, and he's been able to do that the second half of the season.
Charlie, 383.
Let's go.
McDougal played behind Rick Meyer for 33 years, thought he should be starting. Then when he finally got to be a senior boss, he was telling us the other day, they brought in Ron Paulus. And Lou Holtz started Paulus right away, and then Paulus broke his collarbone. McDougal went on to have a great senior year, but if not for that, McDougal might never have been a top-flight quarterback.
Okay, he's never,
out of bounds, incomplete.
He's never felt that he's gotten the opportunity or the chance, and Coach Ron Meyer gave him the opportunity. As a matter of fact, at the beginning of the season, Coach Ron Meyer thought that Tim Lester had a better grasp of the offense, but Kevin McDougal was the better athlete. And in retrospect, Ron Meyer thought he should have gone to Kevin McDougal earlier, and they wouldn't have been in the situation where they are now.
One draw.
Let's go.
First sound.
Quad left, one draw, first sound. Ready?
Go back to that quarterback draw. Put the ball back in the best athlete's hand on the field right now. At least the healthiest athlete on the field.
McDougal likes this play. Got a touchdown and a 30-yard run on it. Draw play, Avery. Bounces to the outside. Jitterbugging. Avery to the 40 and all the way down to the 38. John Avery, the XFL's leading rusher, playing on a bad hamstring.
And he's just
9 yards.
He's just out there laughing, having a good time.
Okay, I'm asking you early, Boz. You're an expert. If you're Ron Meyer right now, how much do you use Avery the rest of the game? It looks like you have it in control.
Yeah, I don't think I would put him in there, especially in a situation here where he's having a jitterbug and try to tweak that hamstring. You got a 20-point lead. You got all the confidence in the world in your offense. You got a great backup with LaShawn Johnson that you don't lose a lot when he comes in a football game.
3 plays and out for Chicago. The first time we've seen that tonight. Skinny Culver is deep. And that's going to be a violation of the danger zone.
You know, they throw that flag way too fast on that particular play.
You know, Skinny Culver is very skinny, and Diallo Burks, one of the other Rage wide receivers, we asked him this week, is Skinny a big eater? And they said, yes, Skinny eats and eats and eats. And unlike Brian Bosworth, he doesn't put on weight.
He's got that bird metabolism.
Violation of the 5-yard belt, 22 on the kicking team, 5 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
So it's up to Brian Kuklik to jumpstart the lethargic Orlando offense. Can he do it? They're down big. They need it.
We're here today at the porta potties at our local park.
We're replacing the toilet paper with cigarette ads like it should really be.
Use this to wipe. Wipe with this. No, see, ma'am, you forgot to use the restroom.
Smoking causes lung cancer, heart disease, emphysema, may complicate pregnancy. Why don't they just say, oh, you're going to die? Yeah. Wipe with this. It's 50% more absorbent than that. No toilet paper in there. Come on.
Excuse me, sir. Did you fall in, sir?
It's double ply.
Loader. Can't go more than 3 pages without seeing cigarette ads.
Start ripping, man.
Okay.
It's all in the mix. You need to be...
Hi,
Hi, Tom Bodette. When did you see the light?
Oh, going over to Phoenix. We wanted to rest up for the game, and suddenly it was so clear. Motel 6. I think it's great.
Well, you gotta call them like you see them. Call us and see the light for yourself.
It takes a lot to keep our aircraft flying. Nearly 750,000 remarkable individuals. Our people are the fuel we run on. Join us. America's Air Force. No one comes close.
I know, you practically live here. The odometer even says so. Well, maybe it's time for a little homeowner's insurance. Unless you prefer spending time with used car salesmen. Look, the solution's clear. New Quaker State higher mileage engine for engines with 75,000 miles or more. It's specially formulated to help prevent leaks, oil consumption, and loss of compression. So if you don't want to stop at 75,000 miles, then don't.
Get new Quaker State higher mileage engine oil at Jiffy Lube.
These aren't your ordinary monsters.
How the hell does that thing know how to drive a car?
And these aren't your ordinary cops.
Well, I have the research papers right here.
Oh, yeah.
Carl?
I had an itch.
Special Unit 2 premieres Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on UPN.
And now, Burger King presents the XFL Defensive Player of the Week. In the land of burgers, Whopper is king. Enforcers linebacker Jamie Baisley led the Chicago defense to a 23-18 come-from-behind victory.
New Quaker State higher mileage engine for engines with 75,000 miles or more. It's specially formulated to help prevent leaks, oil consumption, and loss of compression. So if you don't want to stop at 75,000 miles, then don't.
Get new Quaker State higher mileage engine oil at Jiffy Lube.
These aren't your ordinary monsters.
How the hell does that thing know how to drive a car?
And these aren't your ordinary cops.
Well, I have the research papers right here.
Oh, yeah.
Carl?
I had an itch.
Special Unit 2 premieres Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on UPN.
And now, Burger King presents the XFL Defensive Player of the Week. In the land of burgers, Whopper is king. Enforcers linebacker Jamie Baisley led the Chicago defense to a 23-18 come-from-behind victory with 8 tackles. 2 tackles were for losses, and Baisley also sealed the comeback with an interception at the 1-yard line with the clock running out. That was the Burger King XFL Defensive Player of the Week. In the land of burgers, Whopper is king.
You know, Boz, he told us yesterday in meetings that he thought he shouldn't have been the XFL Defensive Player of the Week. Why?
And neither did Coach Von Meyer because they didn't give him a game ball. The big play of that game was that 4th down interception. Now, granted, he made a play. It wasn't the right play. The right play in a 4th down situation is to knock the ball down. And, you know, he knew that going into that play. And even after he made the interception, he tore himself up inside, said, I should have knocked the ball down. But when the ball is in the air like that, it's just instinctive. You grab it. All over. You come down with the interception, you know what? It worked out well for Chicago.
All right, if you want to get tickets for a playoff game, New York Hitmen or the Chicago Enforcers at LA. Tickets are on sale now in Los Angeles at the Sports Arena box office, all Ticketmaster locations. You call by phone 213-480-3232. You can call 866-LA-EXTREME, and you can log on to XFL.com. So get your tickets now. It looks like it's going to be the Chicago Enforcers at the LA Extreme, but you never know.
And think back to week 2, Chicago at LA. That was one great game, and Chicago gave them all they could handle.
And Chicago's much, much better now. Derek Clark gets a yard, maybe.
Hell no!
Aaron Humphrey. I'll tell you, these two making the 3 linebackers, Humphrey, Baisley, and Austin. They are top-notch.
That's right. Chicago's mod squad. They've been monsters the last 5 games, and that's part of the resurgence of this Chicago defense.
60, smash swap over on 1. Right. Missed over, cover 2, ready?
There is Jamie Baisley.
Right.
27 years old out of University of Indiana. Or Indiana University, excuse me.
Bob Knight mad at you.
2nd and 9. I don't want to give you a lead, Bob, but he's gone. Pass caught on the far side. It's Lawrence Hart once again.
Come on,
Kuklik got nailed, but he completed one for 13.
He stood in the pocket and he took the punishment. The backside coverage, Aaron Humphrey comes in here and he blows him up. By surprise, and plants him down. A little bit of corn there from the Texas Longhorns.
Chicago came out with emotion in this game, and it showed early. Orlando already have clinched a playoff spot in the first seed in the East. Unemotional tonight, at least so far. Still time to do something. Draw play. Derek Clark. And Clark with good yardage out to the 43. Jamie Baisley making the tackle, but not before Clark gets 8.
Yeah, that's a good job. Derek Clark will get you the big yards right up the middle. He doesn't get you the big yards outside. But he can sure hammer you between the tackles, that's for sure.
4.5 yards a carry, a good average number for Derek Clark. 2nd and 2, a good down for big play potential. Kuklik straight drop, flushed left, chased by Austin. Humphrey runs him out of bounds. Aaron Humphrey chasing Kuklik out of bounds.
And again, you can see the versatility of Aaron Humphrey. Two plays ago, he was playing on the left defensive end. This time, he's playing on the right defensive end. They put him all over the place because they know how athletic he is out there, and he can pick it up from wherever he's playing.
Number 3, hot 3. Left. What you got? Liz. Go! Set.
First down for Orlando. Kuklik throws another shorty. This one to Terrence Houston. Pick up 4. You think Orlando needs to stretch it out a little bit? We haven't heard anything from Diallo Burks tonight.
Yeah, you know, and Diallo Burks caught 3 touchdowns in the first meeting, and yet they haven't gone deep to him yet today.
You know, he had the early drop, then he got the penalty, and he's really been out of it ever since.
Yeah, he has not, you know, but then again, Orlando's offense hasn't really been into the click, into the groove, and here's a good opportunity for them to stretch the field deep. They're in a cover 2, and they're playing a tight man corner.
2nd and 6. Cookie fires incomplete. Breaking it up was Quincy Coleman. So Quincy Coleman, 25 years old, out of Jackson State. And 3rd down coming up.
160 speed war. Quick count 'em.
160 speed war on 1, right?
They've got Chicago running around. Chicago's defense may be a little tired right now, so take advantage of that.
Snap it quick here.
Go! Set it!
Kuklik.
There he is.
Oh, Diallo Burks taking it to the house. Touchdown, Orlando!
Talked about it a play ago. Stretch the field with Diallo. They got a cover 2, and he found an open seam.
51 yards.
Beat Darian Brew.
Put him on the left edge. 0.
Kuklik to Burks as time runs out in the 3rd quarter. So just when we thought that Diallo Burks, he comes up with a big play. And an important extra point here for Orlando.
Let me do a catch, bro.
Derek Clark set deep in the eye.
Go!
Clark straight up the middle, he scores.
Right between the tackles, Derek Clark goes ram it home.
Now we got a marker down. Hold on 1 second.
You only had 10 not here.
Hold the phone.
That same fucking way. Number 73's on the end line. Did he report?
No, we had
73 on the end line.
We had 10 men out here. We had 10 guys out here, so we got illegal formation.
Yeah. 10 guys.
We're going to do that again. We got an illegal formation. Only 10 guys out here in the white.
We're giving them the advantage.
You can have less than 11. You just got to have 7 on the line.
Illegal formation. Only 6 on the line. 10 men were on the field for offense. The point will be retried 5 yards back.
Not what he said a minute ago, though. He made it sound like you only need 10, and that's illegal.
So the Rage will try it again, checking in is the good hands man, Terrence Houston.
Okay. You got Deuce in there. You got Deuce in there. Go 1 foot for 800.
Deuce. Burks is coming in.
Here we go. Here we go.
So Burks and Swain in there with Houston. And the Rage will try for one from about the 7-yard line.
Go!
Couple of tight ends in there. Kuklik on the roll. Fires incomplete. That play would not have scored. And Chicago breaks it up.
Take another look at that touchdown. Brian Kuklik often looks for the big play, and he found a big play at the right time with Diallo Book hooking up with him over there in that little seam between Dorian Brew and Quincy Coleman. Dorian Brew's got to come over. He's got to get depth. He's got the deep half over there, and he makes a break toward the line of scrimmage, and you can't do that, especially with the speed of Diallo Books.
The Orlando Rage have hope. On this play, a shot to Diallo Burks.
You think that shot was heard in New York?
It certainly was. The New York, New Jersey Hitmen holding out hope. Coach Rusty Tillman's team with 1 quarter to go. Chicago 20, the Rage 6. We're coming back. You're watching the XFL on UPN. Yeah, there's some hope, Boz.
Monsters are real. Deal with it. Special Unit 2, Wednesday on UPN.
XFL Eastern Division champion Orlando Rage will host.
Good evening, I'm Reg Wells.
I'm Coran Mahalik. Tonight on UPN 9 News, the battle to free an American being held in a foreign prison for speaking his mind.
An activist slowed traffic on the New Jersey Turnpike in an effort to accelerate the need for reform on the roadways.
Do you need a point in the right direction to help kick that smoking habit? Acupuncture may be the way to go.
Plus, will you need to keep that umbrella tomorrow morning? Your 5-day forecast is coming up. Join us tonight after the XFL.
On April 22nd, UPN 9 News presents an up-close look at the newest hit on Broadway.
I wanna be a producer.
The Producers. UPN 9 News' Pat Collins takes you behind the scenes of the new Mel Brooks musical starring Nathan Lane and Matthew
I'm
Broderick.
not going into the toilet. I'm going into show business.
Join us as Broadway premieres The Producers, the new Mel Brooks musical, a UPN 9 News presentation. Sunday, April 22nd at 8, only on UPN 9.
Oh boy, a lamp!
Oh, I love a good rub down. I'm the genie of the lamp. You have set me free. You have 3 wishes.
I would like to be as clever as a fox, strong as a bear, and I would like to fly like an eagle.
Then you need Red Bull energy drink. It vitalizes your body and your mind.
Red Bull gives you wings. Oh, Genie, thank you. Bye-bye.
And who will grant my wishes?
Inside, Puffy Pants.
Chris Marlowe, Brian Bosworth, Michael Barkham, Chris Raggy. We're here in Soldier Field. Night has descended. The temperature's going down. Chicago leading 20-6, but the Rage striking quickly just moments ago. Chicago wins this game. They are in the playoffs, and they will travel out to Los Angeles to play the Extreme. However, if Orlando could come from behind and somehow pull this out, the New York, New Jersey Hitmen would squeak into the playoffs and then head to LA. Just moments ago, it wasn't looking good, but the Rage striking a 50-yard run, a pass and run from Kuklik to Diallo Burks. So we're set to kick off just the start of the 4th quarter. A lot can happen in 15 minutes. And it's a high end-over-end kick. Corey Ivy for Chicago. And Ivy's out near the 30. Don't forget, next week on NBC, it will be the San Francisco Demons at the Orlando Rage. That will start at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. That should be a great game. As you may know, Orlando Rage undefeated at home. The San Francisco Demons up 2 weeks ago, down a little bit this week, but they will crank it back up for that one.
Skipper will definitely have those guys ready to play that game, no question about it.
So let's see how Chicago plays it now. First down.
Blue 191.
at their 31-yard line. Chicago going to try to run. They pitch the ball back to LaShawn Johnson. And LaShawn Johnson slams for about 5. Tackled by James Burgess. Burgess out of Georgia Tech, constantly talking.
He's the chatty Cathy out there on that Orlando defense. Huh? That was me. He tried to cut me.
It's on 2. It's on 2.
So 2nd and 5 now.
3:44. Set. Hut.
And we've got a flag. We've got contact on the offensive line. Did Chicago move, or was there a touch there? Ben Huff came across.
He was set. He was set.
Put his hand down.
He was set.
Put his hand down.
No, you were set, man. 2 seconds.
Okay, set.
It's football. This isn't Canada. This isn't Canada. Final snap. Ball start. 77 offense. 5 yards.
All right, Christopher Perez. His dream of getting his name mentioned on television comes true.
Come on. We're trying to get this to him. Come on.
4 belly.
Let's go. Let's go. Half right. 4 belly, Goldstone 1. Ready?
So Chicago with a 2nd and 10.
Blue 44. Blue 44.
Orlando blitzes. LaShawn Johnson, we've got markers down. And this one's going to come back.
Don't worry about it, bro.
Got a temporary problem with the microphone of Brian Bosworth. We're working to correct it.
Sabotage.
There you go. There's only one way to shut you up, and that's to turn off your microphone.
Hey, you like what I say, you don't like what I say, but you know what? I'm lucky enough I get to work for the league that plays with the big black phone. So you know what? I'm going to say what I want to say.
All right.
The Chicago offense cooking tonight.
Let's go. Let's go.
Average 18 points a game. They've already got 20.
2-0-2 on 1. Ready?
A 2nd and 20 now. Ron Meyer has to decide, how do I play this? Do I play it conservatively? Do we let it hang out a little bit?
You certainly don't want to give Orlando any more momentum than they got on that last drive.
Now Chicago's going backwards after a couple of penalties. He's got the slant to Aaron Bailey. I'll tell you what, Bailey is one of the best in the league at catching the ball and making that pivot out of trouble.
No question about it. He's got those nifty moves, and he can create with those nifty moves the yak, the yards after catch, and that's exactly what he did right there.
I'm trying not to, man. My fault.
Bailey got 11 of it back. So an important 3rd and 8 now for Orlando. The Orlando defense
Up left leg.
needs to stop here.
Drag on 1. Ready?
Look for a short drag right across the face of Orlando's defense here.
Green 88.
Blitz. Chicago needs 8. They loft it up, and it's caught. Was he in bounds? He got it. Fred Coleman, 18 yards on the catch. You know, he doesn't catch a lot of balls, Boz, but the ones he does.
He's definitely caught a couple of big ones tonight, and he just caught that one against Ricky Bell, who just came back after being injured really the whole season long with that turf toe. Comes down with a big grab right there.
And once again, a perfectly placed pass by Kevin McDougal.
Absolutely. You gave him time. He'll find the receiver, and he'll put it in the right spot. He doesn't put it in a position where the defensive backs can get their hands on it.
Freddie Coleman, the big play man tonight, averaging 25.5 yards a catch. Clock ticking, 12-17 to play. Chicago 20, Orlando 6. LaShawn Johnson takes a big hit and gets near the 45. A pickup of 4. LaShawn, 30 years old, out of Northern Iowa. A tremendous player in the NFL before he contracted lymphoma, cancer, beat it in 1998, was cleared April 12th, 1999, and has made a full recovery. Couldn't be a nicer guy in the XFL, Boss, that we've interviewed.
No question.
A delight, and you like to see a victory story. It looks like they're going to change his shoes. Go to a different pair of Nikes there, Boz.
Put some jets in the back of those Nikes.
Or put some warmers in those toes. Wiley into the ball game. You know, the coach is raving about Charles Wiley.
that Corey Gilliard just came up from his safety spot and unloaded on Charles Wiley. And Charles Wiley is one of those backs that Ron Myers believes just happens to be stuck behind the two best backs in the XFL. Charles Wiley is equally as good as those other two. He just doesn't get the kind of carries that Coach Ron Myers would like to get him.
You know, before that, when he had 6 carries for 3 yards, scored 2 touchdowns, we asked Ron Meyer about Wiley. He said, hey, he's pretty good. He blew out his knee to Georgia Tech, kind of scared some people off him. But he likes Wiley, and Wiley's going to get a chance to play a little in this fourth quarter.
44!
3rd and 2. McDougal throws, and the pass is batted down. Ben Huff, no relation to Bill Duff, knocks it down.
Get the Huff and Duff show over there on that side.
And look, Huff and Duff are huffing and puffing as the Orlando defense has been on the field a lot, but that was a big stop, and now Orlando going to get the ball back.
And this is what you got to do on short yardage, 3-step drops. You can't get to the quarterback. You got to get your hands up and knock the balls down.
Crossland to kick. It's a live ball at the 16. Skinny Culver is deep. Skinny at the 5. Skinny through a hole, and he's out to about the 17-yard line.
And Aaron Humphrey comes in with another big play, this time on special teams.
Crowd in Soldier Field jacked up, but Orlando's not dead yet. The Rage trails 20-6, and when we come back, they'll have the ball, and they'll be looking for more.
They get like that by eating the meat.
Whopper says carnivores prefer flame-broiled. In the land of burgers, the flame-broiled Whopper is king.
So how are we getting home?
Good question.
Hop on in, guys.
File this under never. When you need a ride, save big bucks and dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
Hey, pal, when did you see the light?
I was working away from home. On my own dime, it's crazy to stay anywhere but Motel 6. I can take the extra money and invest it in something.
Yeah, like pizza.
Well, call us and see the light for yourself.
It's not where you come from. It's where you're going. It's not what you drive. It's what drives you. It's not what's on you. It's what's in you. Gatorade. Is it in you?
She's a real beauty. And she never bugs you about spending so much time with the guys. She never complains about you watching football. She thinks a little gas is a good thing. Maybe she isn't a she after all. Here's to the perfect relationship. Here's how to keep it that way.
The XFL on UPN is brought to you by Burger King. In the land of burgers, Whopper is king. By 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls. By Gatorade Thirst Quencher. It's in the XFL. Is it in you? And by the motor oil that provides maximum protection. Castrol GTX. Drive hard.
Next Sunday on UPN, it's going to be New York or Chicago at LA. That's right here on UPN, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Pacific. The second of 2 playoff games leading up to the $1 million game. Interestingly, the playoff games, people don't know, those are $300,000 games.
Oh, yeah.
$300,000 to the winning team to split up, and then on to the $1 million game to split up that payover.
Big money in the postseason here in the XFL.
And of course, the $1 million game will take place Saturday, April 21st at 8 p.m. Eastern, and will take place of the team still remaining that has the best record.
Z160 speed smash whop.
So Brian Kuklik, who hooked up with Diallo Burks for a 50-yard bomb, comes to the line of scrimmage. His team down 20-6 here in the fourth quarter. Orlando good at coming back in the fourth quarter, though. Swain got a jump. Kuklik with time, throws a rope. Burks over his head.
No.
We mentioned earlier in the game, Boz, that Orlando had engineered 4 fourth quarter comebacks, and a couple of them very impressive.
That's right. The last couple here engineered by Brian Kuklik. You know, Orlando knows and they believe that they can come back. Now, the thing they got to do going in the playoff is create that confidence they had in the first 6 weeks of the season. Now, here they're in a situation again where they have to come back. They believe that they can do that, and Brian Kuklik has got their arm that they can get that done.
Kuklik, draw play.
Ball's down.
Was that a fumble?
That's a fumble.
Let's see how the officials
Yes,
rule.
sir.
Chicago gets it.
Jason Bray.
Jamie Baisley knocked it out, and Bray boogieing with it.
Jason Bray just looked down and just happened to be there. Michael Black, not known for his fumbles, coughs one up big time in the wrong end of the field.
Third Orlando turnover.
This is a simple draw play.
Oh, it was his own guy.
His own guy.
His own guy's helmet. It might have been Dan Collins.
Collins, yeah. Comes in here and he hits the ball right there, separates it.
When things go bad, they really go bad. So now Chicago in great position to perhaps put this game on ice. Just over 9 minutes to go. 20-6 lead. And breaking through.
I already know what you're going to do.
Ben Huff again.
LaShawn Johnson tackled for a loss. Huff.
He's not going to just, Huff's just not going to sit back there and watch this game go away.
That's the story of the game right there, Buzz. You said it good.
I'm just repeating what you said.
Well, that's why I said you said it good.
Because great minds think alike.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks.
Follow my lead.
I will.
Michael Black. Oh, that was a costly fumble. And now Chicago with a 2nd and 13. Pitch the ball to LaShawn Johnson. Oh, he is drilled. And so the Orlando defense has a little momentum now.
You got pushed in the backfield.
That was Kevin Jefferson with the big hit.
Kevin Jefferson slicing up there like a linebacker should, and unloading on LaShawn Johnson.
Clock continues to run, however. 3rd and 15 for the Chicago Enforcers. If you're the Enforcers, you run again here?
I don't think you get greedy here. I think you can go ahead and take a shot. If it's not there, you can throw the ball away, but you don't want to get in a situation where you throw an interception. You got to get 3 points out of this at least.
3rd and 15, draw play. LaShawn Johnson, pretty good yardage, but it's not enough for a first down.
Doing that.
Got about 5, and now let's see. Andy Crossland will attempt a field goal.
He's 2 for 2 on the night. This is well within his range here. 32-yarder.
He's had a couple blocked this year. He's made 1 from 19 and 1 from 42. This one a 32-yarder. He got it. So Chicago puts 3 more up. And things starting to dim, not only for the Orlando Rage, but the New York, New Jersey Hitmen. A note to all of our local stations along the line. We have a station break coming up. We'll return to Chicago after these messages. You're watching the XFL on UPN.
Monsters are real. Deal with it. Special Unit 2, Wednesday on UPN.
Chicago Enforcers, 6 minutes and 57 seconds away from the playoffs. The Enforcers have dominated the Rage tonight in a must-win situation. They've done it offensively, defensively. They've created some turnovers, and they've done it, as you suggested in the open, Boz, they've done it with emotion.
Yes, and that's the way you win big games, especially at the end of the season, and you want your emotion riding high as you go into the postseason. Right now, Ron Myers told us this week that nobody wants to face off against this Enforcer team because they feel that they're a team of destiny, so to speak, and that's what Ron Myers has preached to this team all year long.
Chicago has won 3 in a row, 4 out of its last 5. Galen Hall has to be concerned about the way his team has played tonight.
He certainly looks worried there.
Yeah, his team, he said, was going to go all out, but you can see that their heart just wasn't into it. This game virtually meaningless to the Rage. Brian Shea bringing it back. And he brings it out to the 35. 2 playoff games next week, 2 $300,000 games. The San Francisco Demons at the Orlando Rage in the Citrus Bowl. That's on NBC. Saturday night, 8 p.m. And then it looks like Chicago is going to take a flight out to Los Angeles and do battle once again with the LA Extreme. Remember, in week 2, 39-32 in overtime.
That's going to be a dandy.
Yeah, that's on UPN starting at Sunday, starting at 7 o'clock Sunday night on UPN. So Orlando will try to crank it up one more time. The short pass trying to set up the screen to Brian Shea, incomplete. Kuklik tonight, Boss, 9 of 16, 105 yards, a touchdown, and an interception.
And he's been rushed. He's not been in his game. He hasn't made the big plays like he did the previous couple of games. He hasn't made the big interceptions either.
Gone. Hog. Hog. Over. Hey, I'm going too. Yep.
Second down.
Rip. Cheat over there. Cheat. Go. Watch it quick. Set up.
Kuklik all day to throw, and it's tipped incomplete.
Just rifled that ball in, put a little bit too much mustard on that one.
Yeah, I know it, yeah.
Bounce him up, and go 60 hooks.
Gotta get past sticks.
Galen Hall, one of the most organized coaches in the league. What a job he has done this year, Boz.
He's had his coaches with him from the NFL Europe be with him down there in Orlando, and it shows that the continuity has been very, very good all year.
So we've got a procedure penalty coming up on Orlando.
Prior to the snap, false start. 68 offense. 5 yards. The down remains 3rd.
Coach Galen Hall, he's won at Oklahoma, he's won in Florida, he won in the World League in NFL Europe, here in the XFL, and he wins because he has the ability to adapt to the players he has, and he makes them work within his scheme.
Bingo switch.
Kuklik, 4 out of his last 5 passes incomplete. They'll try on 3rd and 15. Pass complete to Bailey. He's going to be way short of the first down.
And Chicago's not going to give Orlando anything cheap and easy. They'll give them all those little patterns. They'll come up and they'll break down and they'll make the good tackle, but they're not going to give them the cheap scores.
You guys!
You know, they didn't have a category in our flashback, Boz, or on our voting. But how about Ron Meyer for XFL Coach of the Year?
Absolutely. After starting 0-4, left for dead on the doorstep, he's brought this team back only because he believed in him and his players believed in themselves.
High spiral. Luke Leverson. And Leverson is taken down over on the far side. 37-yard punt, 3-yard return. And Chicago will try to work the clock now. The Chicago Enforcers getting closer and closer and closer to the playoffs.
There's a secret society where the night is eternal, the music is essential, and the party is non-stop. You could be the newest member. The MGD Music Jet Tour. 4 parties, 4 cities. One unforgettable trip. Peel the label, enter the code at mgd.com, and prepare for takeoff.
I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life right now.
I never pushed myself harder.
It's taken a lot of motivation,
Discipline and confidence. But I think mostly it's taken a lot of mental work.
This is it, the 2-mile run. The final chance for me to max out.
Log on and be there at the finish line. Only at GoArmy.com.
No, you can't hurt me! Not with my cheese helmet!
He thinks different.
Look, I found a treasure that's soap on a rope!
He talks different.
I can walk backwards fast as you can. Another backwards man, the backwards man.
And he acts different.
Give me my flash!
But that's only because he's Tom Green.
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Freddy Got Fingered. Rated R. April 20th, only in theaters.
Through many hard-fought battles, several valiant warriors have fallen to the hands of defeat. Some have prevailed to enjoy the sanctity of victory. But the true warrior must focus on the battles ahead, because the war has just begun. The XFL Playoffs, NBC next Saturday.
On April 17th, UPN will chain 5 single people together for 4 days.
It's kind of sexy, actually.
Real people.
What did I get myself into?
Real romance.
I care about you. I do.
Real choices.
There's relationships, boss me.
Chains of Love. Get attached Tuesday, April 17th on UPN.
4 minutes, 36 seconds remaining in this one. It's all over but the shouting. Chicago leading 23-6, and they have done it behind terrific quarterbacking by Kevin McDougal, running of John Avery, LaShawn Johnson, a very stingy defense. Brian Cooklook has given it his all, but it's not been enough. The Orlando Rage playing unemotionally, uninspired tonight. Meanwhile, the Enforcers higher than a kite, like the old Oklahoma Sooners, Boz. Higher than a kite.
Get the ball. Well, you know, Chicago has dominated both sides of the ball, and they've done it with 38 players. There's a new quarterback in there, Greg Wheelahan, the Quantum Leap guy, because every time you blink, he's in a different uniform.
Acquired in a trade from Memphis. Ron Meyer likes him a lot, feels confident with him. McDougal goes to the bench. I think this is a good move. 13 of 20, 182 yards, and a touchdown. He also rushed twice for 34 yards and a touchdown. So McDougal, a big night. Greg Wheelahan is in. Charles Wiley is the running back. He gets the toss. And so Chicago just wants to hold on to the ball now, burn a little clock. There's the former Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Good numbers, Boz.
He did a great job tonight. He didn't make any mistakes, no interception. He made all the right plays.
And the crowd gives him a big cheer. He is the man here in Chicago, along with John Avery. Greg Wheelahan, of course, the former Charger. Back in '98, he started 14 games for the Chargers. 29 years old, played his collegiate ball at Pacific. And a timeout taken by Chicago.
Greg Wheelahan did a great job last week when McDougal got his fuzzies knocked a little bit. Greg came in 4 for 5 in a drive where they really needed to move the ball down against New York.
Okay, apparently that was not a timeout. Chicago had too many guys in the huddle. So play continues.
Green 55!
3 minutes to play. Exactly.
Green 55! Set up.
3rd and 14. And breaking up the middle. And Charles Wiley has the first down for Chicago.
And you can see why Coach Ron Meyer...
Let's see. Yeah, but it is a first down.
You can see why Coach Ron Meyer is high on this Wiley kid. Burst through the hole there with a tremendous amount of speed. Going straight north and south here. In that case, just going north. 4 rushes, 30 yards right there.
25 years old, 6'1", 220. And Ron Meyer getting closer. What a win this is going to be for his team and the city of Chicago. And a good crowd turning out tonight.
Green 88!
Watch the Enforcers. There's Wiley again, and he's tackled. You know, we have a moment, Boz. You have to give Some kudos to the New York, New Jersey Hitmen. You know, a lot of people wrote them off early, a lot of criticism early, but they responded. They came back. They had a good second half of the season. They're organized now, but it's just a little bit too little, too late.
The Chicago team is just a little bit better team than New York.
2-minute warning, and John Avery, he's got the feeling that the Enforcers are going to the playoffs.
Driven. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, April 27th at a theater near you.
Customer service to roofing supplies. Customer service to roofing supplies.
Like trying stuff out before you buy it? Well, at Best Buy, you can try out all the latest high-tech stuff. Actually, that's half the fun. Best Buy. Go ahead. Turn on the fun.
I left my project at home.
It is 80% of your final grade.
Excuse me.
I think a friend deserves an A.
You got that? This could happen. Emphasis on could. When you're in a jam, save big bucks and dial 1-800-CALLATT for collect calls.
If aliens are of a higher intelligence, why do they abduct the dumbest people? The kick of fruit juice and Starburst will get your brain asking, what if?
For 4 days.
It's kind of sexy, actually.
Real people.
What did I get myself into?
Real romance.
I care about you. I do.
Real choices.
There's relationships, boss me.
Chains of Love. Get attached Tuesday, April 17th on UPN.
The Harvest Moon here in Chicago, shot by ace cameraman Bill Morello. And what a night it has been for the Chicago Enforcers. Coming in a must-win situation, and they have pounded the #1 team in the XFL, and they're doing it with authority, Brian Bosworth.
And it's got to make Coach Ron Meyer feel good that over the last 4 games, or actually 5, they've beaten the best defensive teams in the XFL. Las Vegas, San Francisco, at New York. They came in here in a must-win situation, like you said, Chris, and they pounded this Orlando team. They've beaten the best going down the stretch, and you got to think that they got to be favored in the playoffs as one of the top teams that could certainly take the $1 million prize.
In week 2, they took LA to overtime with Tim Lester at quarterback.
I don't know of another team that's playing with as much confidence on both sides of the ball as Chicago is.
Ron Meyer said during the break that he might take a knee here. Let's see if he does. He does. But Orlando has 3 timeouts. I wonder about this spot. Look at the clock still running. Didn't they take timeout?
No, that's only if...
The clock is running. He took timeout. Didn't he?
No, I think Orlando is just going to be content to let this clock run out. Uh-oh, and the Gatorade Douse is coming up.
Look out, Ron Meyer, baby!
You better be glad, Ron, it's about 60 degrees or 55 degrees in Chicago. 2 weeks ago, it was like -8.
So apparently, Orlando has said it's over. Chicago's going to take the knee, and Orlando is going to go home with their timeouts.
And Orlando's got to go home and answer a lot of questions about their team. This is not the same Orlando team that dominated the first 6 weeks of this season.
Look at Meyer. What a happy face he's got.
And that's not the same Ron Meyer that was the first 4 games of the season. He's going to leave this field with a smile on his face and an opportunity to go to the playoffs.
And look at that, LaShawn Johnson actually distracting Meyer so they can give him the soaking. And he got out of the way. Look at him. LaShawn Johnson, the accomplice tonight. So the Chicago Enforcers, and now Chicago takes time out. Hey, it's a wacky world in the XFL, isn't it, Boss? 46 seconds to play, 23-6. Chicago is going to even its record at 5-5. Orlando's going to drop to 8-2. More in a minute. Stay with us.
like I'm in the best shape of my life right now.
I never pushed myself harder.
It's taken a lot of motivation,
discipline, and confidence. But I think mostly it's taken a lot of mental work.
This is it, the 2-mile run, the final chance for me to max out.
Log on and be there at the finish line. Only at GoArmy.com.
Hey guys, when did you see the light?
On our last fishing trip? I mean, it just flashed over me. Stay at Motel 6. Hey, I'm no fool. Saved big bucks and slept like a baby.
Yeah, like a big old snoring baby.
Well, call us and see the light for yourself.
Sweaty palms? Dry mouth? Yep, you love that car. Log on to PepBoys.com to enter the love of your life in the first ever virtual car show. Come to Pep Boys for your official entry today. Fall in love with your car again at Pep Boys.
Hey, Kane, nice scooter. Did somebody steal a tricycle?
Stupid way to burn fat. The smart way to burn fat. Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner.
Kane, this is the express line. Can't you count? Ooh. 1, 2.
A stupid way to burn fat. The smart way to burn fat. Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner.
Here's something your car can actually use. The Fram X2 oil filter uses revolutionary triad fiber technology to trap up to 70% more dirt than any leading filter, giving you 7,000 miles of peak performance. It's just something you gotta have.
Along with Brian Bosworth, Michael Barkan, Chris Raggy, I'm Chris Marlowe, John Avery, celebrating. Chicago is going to the playoffs. Just 46 seconds remain. Avery could be an MVP candidate. I don't think he's going to beat out Tommy Maddox, but he had the groove on tonight playing hurt, and he was really an inspiration to this Chicago effort.
No question about it. And I like your choice of Ron Myers as the coach of the year.
So Chicago in take-a-knee mode. But they will kick it away. You can't give them that one. And Skinny Culver, no, it's Mario Bailey. And Bailey is going to be submarine near the 5. So it's back to the drawing board for Galen Hall. He lost his star quarterback, Jeff Brom, and has really shown. Kuklik is a very good football player, but he's really not the leader, the presence that Jeff Brom is.
No, and you know, it's funny, I spoke with Coach Galen Hall at the very beginning of the season during training camp, and he liked Brian Kuklik. He thought he was a great prospect, liked him for his backup, but the key in the XFL is to keep your starter as healthy as long as you can, and you want them going into the playoffs with a healthy quarterback.
Only one quarterback has gone all the way this year. That has been Tommy Maddox. And Orlando just trying to run out the clock and get out without an injury. Run it out, baby. Mike Black with the short carry. So what a night for the Chicago Enforcers. 20 seconds to go, and the Enforcers are in the playoffs after an 0-4 start. And a standing ovation for Ron Meyer. That's going to be the final play of the game. The Enforcers will go to LA and play on UPN for $300,000 and a chance to get into the $1 million game.
Congratulations to the Chicago team. They played hard all year long. They never gave up. They waited to the last game of the season, and it paid off.
You start 0-4, 5-1 later. Here you are, headed to the playoffs.
Well, it's Soldier Field. It's Chicago right there. Hey, and over there. God love them. What a great fans they are. There's no question about it. And how about the defense? You know, it comes up with great turnovers. We have the one bad play, but, you know, 59 minutes of great play by the defense. And again, Kevin McDougal played another outstanding game.
You got to look back to week 2. What a game, a double overtime loss, 39-32 in LA. You get your rematch this weekend when it really counts in the playoffs.
Well, we're just happy to be in the playoffs. We're playing a great team in LA, and we'll meet him out there Sunday night.
Your guy, John Avery, you went into this game not wanting to have to use him full bore. I guess he got a chance to kind of shut him down in the third quarter. He'll get another week to get healthy. Hopefully he's at full strength next week.
Yeah, John's improving every day, and it was fortunate we got out of this game without further aggravating it. And again, LaShawn and Charles Wiley give us great depth there.
You talk about a resilient team. I think it's hard to believe. 0-4, you guys were pretty much written off, and now you're in the playoffs.
It's a great tribute to the staff, but even a greater tribute to the players on this team.
Yeah. Potential coach of the year.
No, don't worry about that.
Coach Hall, are you concerned at all with the way your team played tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we are. I think we gave good effort. We just didn't get it done on either side of the football. We've got to go back, regroup, have a good week of practice, and get ready for San Francisco.
Do you think you played too conservatively tonight? Obviously, you didn't want to have injuries. Obviously, you wanted to try to win this game a little close to the vest.
No, I don't think so. That's our game plan, is to come in and try to run the football on them. But the drive they got right before the half was big for them. Then they come out and score in their next drive. So instead of being 6-0, we're 20-6 and or 20-0. Then that's a pretty big hole to get out of.
Now you got San Francisco coming your way into your house. You're undefeated there this season. 24-16 or 26-14. You beat them the second game of the season. What do you think about that upcoming matchup?
Well, they have a very good team. The first game was very close. We got ahead at the end. But they're about the same as us. They lost last night. We lost tonight. It'll be a great football game, though.
John Avery, they're chanting MVP, MVP. What do you think?
Oh, man, I just love the Chicago fans so much. I wish I could just stay here and play football year round, baby.
Pretty incredible when you think about what's gone on here the last couple of weeks. You guys were pretty much dead in the water. Now you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, everybody kind of counted us out. We had 3 games on the road. We couldn't really get the momentum. But then we came to Chicago. Our fans got behind us, and we whooping everybody's tail.
You are the hottest team in football right now. 5 of the last 6. You've won 4 in a row. Does LA, they got something coming their way, don't they?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if anybody is in this league right now, they're scared to death of the Chicago Enforcers.
Let me ask you this. John Avery was not 100% today. Will he be 100% when there is $1 million on the line the next 2 weeks?
I will be 100% next week. And next week, I'm guaranteeing at least 2 60-yard runs.
All right, we'll look for it. Nice job, John Avery.
I got to give a shout-out to my sister, Toya. Happy birthday, baby. Jean, Joshua, Mama, I love y'all. Hold it down.
Receiver Diallo Burks, this was a championship-driven team the first 8-9 games of this season. What happened tonight as you go to the playoffs?
Well, we got their best tonight, and they didn't get our best, and that's what happened. They came out on top. They had a good game plan, and they won the game.
You get a little worried, though, when the score is 23-6?
No, you can never worry in that situation. All we can do is come out and play our game.
Hold on.
Kevin, what a night, huh? You needed this one with New York winning today. You had to win to make the postseason. Here you guys are. You whoop Orlando.
Yeah, we did. I'm proud of our guys. I'm proud of the fans. You know, they didn't have to support us when we were 0-4, and they did. And that's all we wanted. And, you know, I thank all the fans for coming out. I don't know if this will be our last home game, but we really gave it our all, and they did too, so we're happy.
5-1 as a starter. I mean, this has been one heck of a roller coaster ride, not only for this team, but for you.
It has. You know, I just stayed patient through the whole year, and, you know, like I said, we just made a lot of mistakes early, and, you know, we finally got our chance, and we eliminated the mistakes, and now we're getting some wins.
Was it one of those things where you just felt that tonight everything worked, whether it was the draw, whether it was the fade route, everything was there for you?
Yeah, this is a tough team, and hopefully we can meet them again, and, you know, we just have to play hard, and we'll be fine.
You didn't get a chance to face L.A. last time in that double overtime thriller, but now you're headed to their house at the Coliseum again. You ready for this one?
Oh, yeah, they're hot, so we've just got to go out and eliminate the mistakes and play well.
Good luck in the quest for $1 million. Nice job.
A marvelous night for John Avery, Kevin McDougal, and the rest of the Chicago Enforcers. They qualify for the playoffs. And next week, they go to L.A. Once again, the final score, 23-6, Chicago. We'll come back. We'll have a little more for you right after this.
America's Air Force has a plane so advanced, it dominates everything in the air. Yet on radar, it's as small as a bird. The meanest, baddest bird on the planet. Join the team that keeps us flying. America's Air Force. No one comes close.
Hey, Mr. Two Belt, why don't you change your oil every 3,000 miles? And remember, women know when you lie. Look, missing an oil change is like giving a woman a vacuum cleaner for her birthday. You know better. Come on, consider the risk. This is reformulated Quaker State. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. Can you say insurance? Because I could say I told you so. Reformulated Quaker State. It's been tested. It works. What more do you need to know?
Hey, Kane, nice scooter. Did somebody steal a tricycle?
Stupid way to burn fat. The smart way to burn fat. Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner.
Kane, this is the express line. Can't you count? Whoa. 1, 2.
A stupid way to burn fat. The smart way to burn fat. Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner.
Okay. Welcome back to Chicago, where the Enforcers have qualified for the playoff by beating Orlando 23-6. Final standings in the East. The Rage, of course, have clinched at 8-2, but they go in wounded. The Chicago Enforcers finish at 5-5. New York, New Jersey Hitmen at 4-6, and the Birmingham Bolts at 2-8. The Hitmen with a near miss. Brian Bosworth, the West. Of course, the Los Angeles Extreme.
They're right now probably the hottest team next to Chicago in the XFL. San Francisco comes in a little bit of a down because they didn't get the job done in LA, but they're a pretty good team themselves.
Maniacs tie San Francisco but lose because of tie-breaking procedures. So the XFL playoffs look like this: Chicago and the Extreme, the Demons and the Rage. And interestingly, if Chicago wins and San Francisco wins, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Chicago could host the $1 million game.
They could host a big game at the end for the $1 million prize. It's going to be a good one next week.
Don't forget, next week on NBC, the San Francisco Demons will travel to the Citrus Bowl to play the Orlando Rage. Starting time 8 p.m., 5 Pacific on NBC. And the Chicago Enforcers at LA, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. McDougal, 13 of 20, 182 yards and 1 touchdown. He also rushed for a touchdown. Kuklik, 10 of 18, 110 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Chicago is going to play its first playoff game since the mid-90s. How sweet.
Yeah!
What? 2 or 3 plays spell the difference. When do they come? When do they come?
If I hurt myself, I hurt myself for yo. Ready? Showtime.
We do what we want to, when we want to. Own that dude in front of us. They laughing too much over there right now, Murph. They think they got a chance. Let's go. The righteous take the kingdom by force. The righteous take the kingdom by force.
Be with us for the XFL on NBC Saturday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, when the San Francisco Demons take on the Eastern Division champion Orlando Rage in a playoff showdown. Then next Sunday at 7 Eastern, the playoffs continue as the Chicago Enforcers face the West Division champion Los Angeles Extreme right here on UPN. Once again, Chicago beats Orlando and qualifies for the playoffs. For Brian Bosworth, Michael Barkan, Chris Raggy, I'm Chris Marlowe. So long from Soldier Field. You've been watching the XFL on UPN.
Chains of Love premieres April 17th on UPN. Get attached.
Why do you watch UPN 9 News at 10?
Channel 9 News? Oh, it's awesome.
UPN 9 News with Brenda Blackman and Rollin Smith.
They get right to the point.
Bringing you the day's top stories and the only news you need.
It does bring you up to date as far as what's going on.
Next on UPN 9 News. Every weeknight at 10, only on UPN 9 News.
I say, Leonardo, how's that painting coming?
It's a masterpiece, way ahead of its time.
We asked for something that would uplift the human spirit. What on earth is that?
Exactly, this is it. I am a genius. It's a drink called Red Bull.
Red Bull? You call that a work of art? You must be mad.
You will see. Someday everybody will be singing, Red Bull gives you it.
That's it. I'm giving the chapel dog to Michelangelo.
Jam on. Jam on with Jamie 5 days a week. Come on, you want to chill with me? 5 days a week.
Weeknight.